dorks.
Oh, hi.
You caught us working so hard.
Just doing some homework.
Just doing some homework. It's math.
I drew a stick figure.
Yay!
I did trig. No. She did not.
Not to go
Yo.
off on a tangent here.
Actually, 10 points, John. Very good.
Scott, I thought you were going to flip backwards fully.
Oh,
Oh,
can you
there
imagine?
he is.
Man, I want to learn. Yeah. I want to learn how to do a back handspring. I feel like
Not
that's
in this
probably
room, you're not.
not in this economy.
In this room, I don't think there's literally any place that you can do a back handspring without absolutely destroying some shit.
Some shit and
As
myself.
currently set up, absolutely.
Correct. All right, guys. Challenge not accepted.
Hey, we got Raven.
Hey!
Years. I was like,
Caliph?
can I-
Caliph?
Welcome. Ah,
Our
yes.
setup. I will take one at
And
some point.
old Griffon. Oh gosh. Look at all these wonderful people. It's excellent.
Second session.
Yeah,
Yeah.
already.
Well, it's been a week.
Yeah,
It's generally the
very-
duration between
Generally the
sessions.
timeline, I know. No, but just I don't know. It there's an excitement in the air, and I'm kind of like, ooh, good. Like it's time to get back into it. You know, it's great.
Well, we're glad to see you. Caliph is what I'm going to assume, but if it's Caliph or something else, correct me.
Mhm.
I like being corrected. when it comes to Name pronunciation.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we had fun the first session, but it's time for us to take a gander at what we've got coming up on this one.
Gander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what you-
I was trying to let it slip.
I can't do that, Dave.
Dave. If you donate, we'll change John's name
We
legally.
got our wrong names up for some reason. I'm not
Oh.
sure why.
That's funky. Yeah, hang on. Those aren't our real names.
Can I just fancy corner it?
Yeah.
Hey,
Ooh.
that's us. Just so you all know who we really are.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, people know he's not Dave. And I was like, oh, shit. They can't tell. They can't tell.
Could be Dave.
Oh,
Could be.
thank you.
Thank
Theological
you
bear.
for the subs.
Rawr.
Because it's a new session, I am by law required to ask you whether you spent any experience, but I'm kind of imagining the answer may be unanimous. 3, 2, 1. No experience spent.
You're like a YTV game show host.
Yes! Oh no! Oh my god, he's gonna climb us one day!
Oh my god.
I think you'd notice if I hit something in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering we have to climb up there to bring the mics down. Oh, that's weird.
No, you're
Oh,
just
wow,
gonna,
you're
you're
not
gonna-
into the popcorn ceiling.
Yeah, yes.
And just put a piece of perfect drywall hiding it. And then pull it
That
open.
I would absolutely not notice.
Surprise!
Well, with none of you having spent experience, you have, of course, then engaged in the anger of Aragorn, but
But she says we look pretty, so
Yeah, I feel like that's a
We made
good
up
trade. I
for
think we
it.
traded up. Maybe not up. Oh, fantastic.
So yeah, I mean, it's nice that if any of you are coming over here because you managed to catch us on YouTube or possibly our podcast feed, cool.
Hi, podcasters. How are you?
Hope you're well.
And now a word from our sponsors. Who would be our sponsor?
Brought to you in part
Squarespace.
by viewers like you.
Casper Mattress.
Yeah,
classics.
Cozy.
Hello,
CA.
Fresh.
Oh, thanks, Bluey. Look at that. Oh, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho. Look at all these.
I mean, Aragorn is threatening us, and frankly,
Great shadow
it's one of my favorite things in the world when Aragorn threatens. Well,
Yeah.
you specifically.
Oh.
I don't control whether you spend experience or not. But the reason why I like Aragorn threatening us is because I know it's safe.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, in our games, we want to be free to explore anything we want, so we want to be able to communicate if anything approaches non-safety. We have these cards. We start with play. Green card means I feel safe to continue, even if I may look otherwise. It's just role-playing. I, the player, feel safe. Yellow, the pause card, means heads up, folks, I need to let you know about something. Maybe we're approaching a line or a veil, but I just need to let you know something. Once I put it down, I feel safe to continue. Red card, however, is stop. Gameplay will be interrupted. In our case, we will go to a BRB screen. It's a chance to completely break out of gameplay, discuss person to person, figure out a solution so that everyone at the table feels safe to continue. You folks don't have cards, but you do have options. In our chat today, we have two wonderful moderators, Kung Fu Fenris and Aragwen. They are welcome to take your whispers. You can also whisper us, but we may not notice it immediately because we are playing the game. Our mods are happy to keep it anonymous if you have anything that you need to communicate. But at the same time, if we are unable to change what's upsetting you or causing troubles for you in the moment, you always have the option to step away. We don't want to see you go, but we do want to see you safe.
100%.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Flower of August giving us tribute in order for Aragorn not to break phase.
Yeah.
We're the guards outside of the dragon's den that is Aragwen's horde. So we will then present these 100 bits
But
to
sometimes
Aragwen at some
her
point. Yeah, exactly.
rage and wrath turns upon us, like when we don't spend XP.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're the closest, right? Like it's a,
That's
you know,
fair.
someone comes to steal from the dragon, she burns them alive, and then we catch a little fire on the side as well.
Just a soupçon.
Just a soupçon of burning flesh. Oh.
Yeah, every time you spend XP, it goes to Aragorn.
Oh.
that explains
No
so
wonder you're such an elder
much.
dragon. Okay, it's all making sense now. No wonder you know 10,000 things.
Thank you for
Or
tribute.
on red. Sorry, on red now. Thank you for the tribute.
Is it time for us to figure out what happened
Oh.
last session for those who may want some info?
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
so.
let's do it.
so.
It's time to mix ourselves up a Bane cracker. Macros, Troyan, and Dante celebrated their first successful mission as a group at Troyan's bar, Balthazar. Just as they decided to formalize their relationship as a pack, an emissary from one of the local cairns showed up with a message. An elder guru wanted to meet the young upstarts. After traveling to Mount Royal and meeting with a traditionalist Silverfang, they traveled into the Umbra to seek a patron spirit. Atop a drought-ridden mountain, they encountered Raven, Mouse, and Flea. But while thinking it over, they met Fox and petitioned him instead, despite his potential issue with the weathered storm's spirit, Goose. Fox agreed to support the new pack, asking them to heal the mountain.
Markup. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so cool. You know? Like a rainy night and a something about I was gonna say something about cigarettes, but I'm like,
Have clouds roll in, have just like rain fall across. We'll literally spill water on ourselves so that we're like, oh, now I'm all wet.
Well, that's why we need the trapdoors in the ceiling.
But
We could get like little spray bottles too.
From off cam? Yeah, just like under the table.
I'm just crying. I'm so emotional.
the rite of
Obsession
session
recap. Loving it.
Ooh.
Your voice, John. Apparently it sounds like a trench coat.
Leave
Which
a
I'm here
little
for.
big man.
I am wondering.
Please.
Okay, so I'm going to ask all of you one question before we start.
Okay.
What is something that you are hoping will happen?
Today?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm hoping that at some point you're going to encounter the NPC who's been posting on the Discord.
Thanks, Obsidian.
Excuse me.
Hell yeah. I mean,
Did I miss this?
The
What's this?
what's the deed names
Oh,
being
oh,
crafted by an NPC.
I thought there
apparently.
was like a hidden channel
That would be great.
What?
that was just going to be pew, pew, and
It
suddenly
may
just
say
everything.
John. It's an NPC apparently. Is what I've heard.
Oh, okay.
Interesting, right?
Okay, I missed that.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's.
Yeah, I didn't realize that
intrigued.
was a thing that was happening.
Well, no,
I just assumed it was John. My bad.
I am excited. I am looking forward to, or hoping to, take the fight to those who deserve it. There you go.
I'm looking forward to seeing what is going on at the mountain. It's just Brom's house.
I'm looking forward to see what kind of trouble is gonna knock on our door next.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Have there been any questions before we start, either from you three or from anyone out there? Because we can kick this thing into overdrive.
If I could request a reduction on the speakers, that would be great.
No?
Nope.
No?
Not from us.
No. Podcast people, I have to imagine, like, when they're listening, is there just points where just everyone stops talking and they're like, did they all just... Because for all they know, like, a boom mic came down and just smashed all of us in the face. And we're just
All four of us at the same time.
Ally Spot has told me in the past that sometimes when there's long silences, depending on what preceded them, she can perfectly picture what each of our faces look like. And that kind of...
I like to think when you say, "Are there any questions?" there's podcast listeners who are just like, "What do you look like?"
Luke, my understanding is that it's walled in, but open air.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's how I pictured it.
Thank you, Theological
Thank
Bear.
you
Thank
for
you
the
so
gift.
much. Look at this.
They probably grow some herbs. They have mint in its own pot. Don't plant mint in ground; it will spread. This has been Garden Rants with Liz. Tune in next
This
week.
is why I need to plant mint, because it might be the only thing that I can keep
and
alive.
just go forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can have cocktails or
Mint and bleeding hearts.
minty things.
Yeah,
They split-
yeah,
split
mint,
like this.
mint and bleeding hearts. They are.
I just grow issues.
Oh,
What are you, a magazine?
And
John,
with
why
that,
are you a magazine? So good.
I don't have wits for clever.
No, I
reports on
love
this
it.
character, okay?
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, did I take? Uh-oh.
no PCs violated any of their bans last session. Which means that everybody has
Just double
felt
check.
good about their
Willpower.
willpower where they are all full. And for that matter, because time will have passed and superficial damage won't remain for that long, everybody is healed up as well.
Excellent.
And you'll start with your base rage.
Great.
Please, Rouge.
You ready?
Let's party.
Making a choice when it comes to spirits is always going to be just that, choice. It isn't as simple as saying which one of us is going to benefit the most or which one of these spirits is going to do us the best. It's more complicated than that. To throw your allegiance behind anybody, especially in a game of Werewolf, whether it's to a spirit, a sept, a pack, anyone, you're making a choice that not only are you choosing allies, but you are also potentially choosing adversaries or enemies. You have, as a pack, chosen to unite under Fox's patronage, which is definitely a choice that you've made. How that choice will bear fruit is another question, and we'll get the chance to see that soon. But we've already seen an example of how that might cause issues. Do you want it to be the following day after your adventure, or do you want to wait for additional time?
I think the following day, because when we came back from the cairn, it was quite late, and I think we hung out at the bar for a bit, but then we went home. So maybe we met back at the bar the next day.
Other than Dante, who had to find a way into his apartment because his keys had been
Oh right, he
had
to break in
disappeared.
his
They
own
had
place.
disappeared. But yes, the next day makes sense to me.
It's September 11th, then. In the bar today, there's a lot more people. It's picked up somewhat. Mondays tends to be a little more popular for whatever reason. People have just had a long day at work. It's their first day at work. They don't want to go home, and so they're here. Which means that there's number of booths, stools, and the like that have been occupied. People are generally having a decent time of it, although it isn't terribly loud in the bar right now. Macris, would you be behind the bar normally here?
No, out of sight of the customers most of the time.
Don't let them see me.
Unless we're planning to have, like, live music later, then maybe I'd be, like, lugging the speakers out and moving the tables that usually occupy where the musicians hang out. Or...
I would kind of think that maybe like Thursdays or something would be like an indie nights. Mondays, maybe like one Monday a month there's a pub quiz, but
Yeah.
probably not. Hosted by Scott, not Dante.
No,
Scott.
yeah. Scott Humphrey, one local Montreal actor and trivia buff. We'll talk if this is canon later.
No.
So don't worry about it.
And yeah, Macris is probably lugging kegs up for the start of day, replacing any that are empty.
In Glabro.
Yeah.
Yo, terrifying.
Come on, it's just easier to pull the kegs that way.
Yeah, well, not when the doors are open.
It's true. Dante, I think today, rather than being kind of at his own little space off in the corner, is parked himself at the bar to better chat with Troyan, who is presumably behind.
She is behind the bar helping one or two of the bartenders that they have on staff. She has a jar of cherries that are soaking in vodka that are serving as the garnish for her latest creation, a cocktail called Friend of Fox. And if Dante wanted to try one, one is in front of him.
It's yeah. You don't even need to ask. He takes a sip. Can you you don't have to describe the whole drink to me, but is it sort of like a fruity thing? Is it like a layered thing?
Yeah, so there's orange juice, cherry schnapps, vodka, and ginger ale, and then the garnish is vodka soaked cherries.
Okay, delish. I love it. He's in the midst of eating a cherry. No, pretty good. I don't know. I feel like you've got a real knack for this sort of thing. You really only got into this game what? How long have you been making drinks anyway?
I've been a bartender for years, but I didn't think I would. Well, I imagined I'd own one eventually. I didn't think one would just fall into my lap. No, I've been working. When I lived in London, I was working there. Oxford briefly, New York. I could work under the table. It's no day is ever like the others. And if there's someone who needs my help, she kind of looks around the room a bit, I'm well placed to give it to them. How about you? Have you always loved your tech?
What is it you think I do?
Beep boop.
It's like a long pause, and he just I think there's maybe a little eye twitch. Yeah, I guess you could say I've always loved my tech. Sure, that's fair, I guess. It's something I studied. It's something I loved. Something I got into, found work. But well, you know how it is. Your life takes a bit of a left turn, and you have to find other uses for your talents, like you did. Here, right?
Right, and you did too. It was very creative how you, she lowers her voice further. How you did the right. I'd never heard of it being done that way before.
People often say that spirituality is unique, right? No two people have the same relationship with the world, with nature, whatever you want to say. I'm not necessarily one of those hippies you might meet in a trailer somewhere. Okay?
Careful,
Who will-
Chris is just downstairs.
There's
She was-
a brief flash of concern.
No,
Oh, yeah, right, of course. No, but you know what I mean. People who believe in a sort of relationship that everyone shares in the same way with the world, with the forces in it. I just think my experience has always been maybe a little bit different than other people's, just as anyone else's is. I try to capitalize on that.
Oh, you found a way of introducing spirituality to technology.
Yeah.
Using machines and concepts that are very advanced. They're not traditional, and that grates with the traditionalists. I just think it's really interesting that you found some kind of balance, some kind of peace with that.
I think there are quite a few people who would be surprised to learn the gap between different worlds is not so big as we may think it is. I think for a long time there was a sense that there's here and there's there. But I think in this day and age, kind of like casts a glance around, presumably like half the people in the bar are on their phones, even if they're engaged in conversations.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Gotta beat this Candy Crush.
Candy Crush!
Sorry, I didn't want to out you. Anyway, you can see people have found another place to exist. A digital realm. Anyway, I just don't think it's too far-fetched to say that there's different ways of doing things. And I think the three of us are going to find different ways of doing things.
You know, when Macris comes back, we should discuss this this shimonage that we need to make to Goose. Have you given any thought to that?
Some. It's going to be tricky. Foxes and geese. He just lets that hang in the air for a second.
Bang!
Whoa!
Keg on the
Whoa!
surface of the bar. Macris bends down and starts disconnecting the old one.
Got anything good in there? Leans forward to like look at the unmarked,
Is
presumably
there
unmarked.
anything not good served at this bar?
That is more true.
Friend of Fox, Macris.
Looks sweet.
It is.
Down the hatch. Thunk.
Glug 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 glug. Incredible.
Sweet.
Is it really a shoot kind of drink?
No, I don't
It is when
think so.
Macris does it.
I didn't give a shot when Macris does it. Yeah. That's funny.
Yep. As I said, statement stands. Old keg. Clank. New keg. Thunk. Something something. Shimonage.
We were talking about what we could offer to Goose. Try to, smooth the rift, or whatever.
Keys. Is not bread.
Well, we have a lost and found here with, like, keychains. I'm not going to give anyone's keys, but it's something.
Just a hunch that I have. If Goose is reaching to us to take things, key. Speaking of which, if my keys turn up, you'll let me know, eh?
Oh, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Looks like we're visiting the mountain again soon.
Yeah, I have spares, thank goodness.
What do you give me an intelligence occult roll?
Yeah,
A
sure.
difficulty of 3.
Thank you very much. Coming in.
Remember that one of your dice should be a rage die, even though that won't make any difference. But
Right?
But
Good to have. Well, when it rolls a 10, that's quite nice, actually. Yes, sir. That is 6 successes. Sorry, yeah. Sorry.
plus.
And
That's
why
right.
is that, Scott?
Oh, that's because I rolled 4 numbers that were 6 and over, but 2 of them were 10s, which adds 2 more successes, a critical success.
Only when there's pairs.
Correct,
Yes.
yes. 2 10s. Intellicult.
Shimonage to a spirit doesn't necessarily giving them a thing.
Mhm.
It could be that you agree to perform a task for them. It could be that you just simply agree to do something regularly over the next month. It could be as simple as, I'll be nice to geese for the next little bit.
Even if geese aren't nice to us.
No, geese are definitely not nice to you.
Look, the geese
Honk.
didn't attack me when I walked by, so
Hey.
Bam.
that's
Shimonage
my
friend of
successful.
I'm just gonna keep walking. We good? We good.
So, if you were looking to provide shimonage for Goose here, one of the things that you should probably do is get to know Goose. The easiest way to do that potentially is just to ask around the cairn, the various sept members, what they know and what their experience is. But you can also take a flyer at it and just provide what you think Goose would appreciate.
Okay.
It could be as simple, as you said, as providing items for a horrible goose to enjoy nicking, as it were. Not all geese are similar to Untitled Goose Game geese.
Right, but this goose
But
is.
this goose behavior.
Not necessarily sure about that. We do know that something or someone has taken Dante's keys at the end of the session, but
That's entirely possible. I wonder whether perhaps Goose is doing this as a way of trying to reach out into this world. We don't know. And short of going and speaking directly to Goose, it might behoove us to ask around. I'm not in a huge rush to get back to Weathered Storm. Is it called Weathered Storm?
Yep.
It's called Weathered Storm, thank you. I'm not in a huge rush to get back there, but I agree this is a priority. I think it's going to be important to do.
I
Alice,
thought you were
you're-
all about the harmony between the traditionalists and the more modern thinking people.
No, I'm all about the harmony between my people and the spirit realm. The traditionalists can go to hell. And he grins a little bit. What I'm thinking, we'll speak to some of the theurges. I imagine that if what we understand is true, Alice may not be available to speak with today. Because, if I'm not mistaken, Alice was the theurge we met last time who spends every other day not speaking to people.
that would be an example of Shimonage. If
Potentially.
the spirit asked something of her and she agreed that every other day she wouldn't speak, that could be an example of what that would look like.
But I have no doubt that there's someone else at Weathered Storm who would know Goose well, have had interactions with them. And more to the point, I don't know everything about this place. And if either of you do, please feel free to correct me. But they've suffered losses there. And that means Goose has too.
Yeah.
If there's something we can give back, if what we are doing for Fox will help give back, I'm sure they would appreciate it.
Fox said to heal the mountain.
They're on the mountain.
Macris, you've lived here longer. Do you know anything about what happened at the cairn?
Does Macris know anything more about what happened at the cairn?
That's an interesting question.
Like, how public is it among Guru that aren't a member of the cairn?
Ooh.
Why don't you give me... Do you have any politics?
Heck no. Cool.
Rip.
Shit went down. Do I have a sense of when it happened?
It had to have happened in the past few years.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Shit went down X time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't my scene.
I think it's about to become our scene a little bit. I gotta ask, do we have any problems with going back to Weathered Storm? Anyone put you off? Anything a little... I'm gonna be honest. I was fully expecting to go there, piss off Cleaves the Lie, do the thing, and leave. And never go back. Or at least never be invited back. Everyone seemed... I don't know. Impressed?
We're tied to that place now. As long as we have a connection to Fox.
Yeah, you're right. I wonder what's wrong with the mountain. I mean, beyond what's wrong with the world.
Well, they would know. Except, and we have to play nice, can we?
I can play quiet.
I can make you a flask.
I'm good.
Your favorite.
That's only going to increase the likelihood that I don't keep my mouth shut.
Okay.
Wow, this is just water. Fuck.
I would never.
No, I know.
Can you imagine?
It'd be super rude.
All right.
Well, we can go now, or after dark.
I motion to the bar.
I motion to the human bartenders who are also working.
Yeah.
Hello, it is I, human bartender. Hey. Oh, sup?
I'm Raph and I'm Jet.
Raph and Jet.
No.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
My name's Chonk, and I'm here at the bar.
Donkey
I'm
Chong.
here to bonk.
Oh, I think we found our new favorite. Shonk, who's here to bong. Anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, there are plenty of other people who work at this bar.
It makes sense.
The fact that Troyan stands behind the bar, I think, is more a personal choice as opposed to a necessity.
Yeah.
All
She
right.
feels weird just overseeing.
Oh, sure.
Somebody does
Yeah,
that.
of course.
Macros, of course, is not.
Back. I lug things when they need lugging. But that was the last keg that needed replacing this afternoon.
Yeah, we got lots of college kids in here. McGill students
Yeah.
draining the kegs.
John, I have a question
Yeah.
about one of my gifts. So I'm thinking before we go, Dante's going to excuse himself and use, maybe even stop by his pad, excuse me, his home, and use Skinbind to make sure that he has on him a weapon.
We could have assumed that this happened before. You
Okay,
left.
cool. That would make sense to me then. Should I...
What weapon would you want to conceal?
He owns a Glock.
Why is that like a giggle?
I don't know, because I just don't think I've ever said the word out loud. I don't know why.
So,
Glockenspiel.
So it's just
A
in your
glockenspiel,
arm
yeah.
casually?
Yeah. Oh, actually, can I describe this? I think it's gonna ride the line between super nerdy and kind of cool.
Oh my God,
Is everyone
here we
ready
go.
for this?
yeah. Go ahead.
Macris. Holy shit. Dante has a tattoo under his arm here. It's the wizard. It's the old man from The Legend of Zelda, and it says, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this." And he's gonna stick the gun in there so that the old man is presenting a gun.
Have we seen this before?
You've absolutely seen his tattoo, but normally there's nothing there. Like normally it's just the man
Right.
and the quote.
All right. Well, in order to use Skin Mind, you are going to have to spend the willpower.
Yeah.
So.
Boop. I'll have that. Great. So then assuming that that's happened, I guess my question was, is it I can feel that it exists because it does exist on me, but is it something that other people could, or other guru could maybe sense potentially?
Any guru who knows glasswalkers and sees that you have tattoos on you could potentially
Right.
figure out that you are carrying such things.
Because it's a thing.
But it's also not necessarily a bad thing for you to be carrying a weapon. Now, there are some traditionalist guru who might be like, a gun?
ugh, yeah.
I roll.
Yeah, no, seriously, what's wrong with the old claw and bite, or whatever, yeah.
But it's
Sometimes the thing you want to claw and bite isn't close enough to claw and
Right,
bite.
exactly.
not. You haven't had any indication that anyone at the Cairn of the Weathered Storm is specifically like, you should not be using a gun.
Okay.
And the fact that you have it as skin-bound would also kind of indicate that you're not being careless about being open,
Yeah, I suppose it would be...
holding a weapon, and attracting attention.
Right,
That
that
would
makes
be
sense
not
to me.
good.
Okay, cool. Okay, well then...
Remember, the litany says the veil shall not be lifted. Don't attract attention to a Cairn if you can.
Got it.
If you care about the litany, which you don't, but you might.
A little bit? It feels like something we should care about a bit.
He doesn't care about it, but he doesn't want to get in trouble.
Oh no, Dante's in trouble.
Oh, no.
So, okay, thank you for indulging me, everyone, with that. So Dante's gotta go.
Remember that your gun would have a damage value of +3.
Got it.
Right.
Because I'm assuming that you're not using a little plinker 22 pistol. It's
Assume it's
A little like one of those old purse guns. Yeah,
yeah,
purse guns. Yeah, little.
it's probably
First
a
gun,
9mm
They're
pistol.
so wee.
Okay.
So that's
Yep.
+3.
Great, and it's a minor action to retrieve it, which is part of the gift. Just FYI for me. Okay, thank you. Then yeah, I would be ready to go. Weathered Storm.
Your key was stolen.
He's
Keys. Do you feel safe at your apartment?
yeah. I have a feeling I know where my keys are, and I have a feeling they're not going to make their way into anyone's hands. anyone's hands. Yeah.
If that feeling changes, you can stay here. I mean it. You start to feel unsafe, you stay here.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that.
Right.
The more that we all congregate here, the more people will know that we're a pack as well. Not necessarily a bad thing, of course.
Has Dante seen the room that you've set up in the bar?
She probably doesn't make a point of like maybe you know that it's there.
Well, I know you keep people here because you kept
Yeah.
Clarissa. Sorry, a zeroed woman. Person.
You could have seen it. I'm fine with
Yeah, exactly.
either. Like if he'd asked, she
No.
would've shown him.
I would love to know what it looks like. So I would be happy to see it now. That doesn't
That's
bother you.
Dante saying it?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
Macris, I will need your assistance as always.
Sure thing, boss. Down the stairs we go.
We
to the
trek
storage
down the
room.
stairs to a massive pile of kegs, would you say?
Yeah.
And they're kind of stacked.
Yep. Acros braces and slowly slides them aside. There are definitely some scrapes on the floor.
This is fine.
Behind is a door.
Yeah, a door with a variety of locks on it. And then try and just like unlocks using like key codes and using some keys from her pocket and all of that.
Incredible.
She opens the door. Inside, very, very basic. There is a bed. There's like a wash basin. There's like a tiny little like bathroom area off to the side, and a hot plate. Hashtag fire codes apparently.
Well, when you're running for your life or whatever.
Sometimes you need your egos,
You can turn into a 2.5 meter tall killing machine. Maybe
but sometimes
fire codes aren't on your mind.
sometimes you need your egos. Yeah, yes, you're right.
That's how you get taken down. As a vampire is like, excuse me? Yes. Fire chief?
Oh God, run! Hide hide all the incense.
What do you mean you don't have open sunny windows in all your rooms?
Yes. Okay,
It's very
I
much
see.
for people who need to disappear for a while.
I got it.
People who are fearing for their safety. You understand?
Yeah, of course. It's not something to be taken lightly, and I appreciate that this exists. You have a real dedication to making sure people can be kept safe.
Well, Macris is very important to helping make this. Thank you.
No problem. Look, shit hits the fan. Sometimes you gotta lie low.
Yeah, I know about that too, and I think we all do. It's just good to know it exists. Thanks.
If you hear of anyone who does need a place to stay, just quietly let us know.
Yeah.
Anyway, could you she like locks up the door again and looks kind of sheepishly at Macris. The ruin's not strong enough.
Without transforming. I feel
Exactly.
like if you
Right.
needed to,
Yeah.
you would transform and shift shit, but yeah.
That's it. The idea of the stuff in front of the door is it takes a very, very, very strong Homid to do it,
Strength
or
I guess I'm only strength 3, it's true.
Glabro,
More than average, yeah.
Yeah.
or you'd have to be Glabro. or,
Yes,
like,
that would make
Rhinos.
sense. Yeah.
No matter what, it's going to slow somebody down.
Yeah,
Looks.
and that's when we shiv.
All right. We'll head to the Cairn of Weathered Storm. We'll see what we can find out about Goose and about maybe even what happened, if they're willing to talk.
So, how do you normally get to the cairn if you're going? Do you just walk from where you are? It's not terribly far from where the bar is.
I think just walk.
Yeah, walking's cool.
Right. Then
Does
Really
Macris have a
worth-
car?
Akris takes public transit, but it's like it's just not quite far enough to bother waiting for a bus, right?
Troyan has a car, I think, but she like doesn't take it out that much because driving in Montreal is ass.
Yes, she
Also, where are you
actually
gonna
has
park
like
it?
a parking
On the
spot.
Yeah, and she's not about to give it up for
Yeah.
anything. She just like
Yeah, it's just one.
there's one parking spot.
Could I ask the three of you?
Yeah.
Could you roll me a? This is just a difficulty 1. We're gonna go wits awareness.
One.
5.
0.
Wow.
It's one of my best.
Total fail.
Nice.
Classic. Man, these dice sometimes. That's what it is.
So 1, but you rolled a 5. 5 successes.
Yep.
Pull me back from the trap.
Please, no.
It's no trap, but with 5 successes, I feel like I gotta give you something. So while you're on the way to the cairn, you notice that close to the base of the mountain, it's sort of a gradual kind of up, but there are certain places where there's like I mentioned, more of a cliff edge. You notice that there's a few people who are standing around the mountain, even this kind of late afternoon, early evening. They're wearing hard hats, but they're also wearing lab coats, which is odd. You don't normally wear a lab coat outside of a lab. And underneath the lab coats, you see that they're wearing high-vis vests.
That's the wrong order of garmentage.
100% yes.
Huh. Okay.
So the vests with the lab coats on top and the
hard hats.
hard hats.
Yeah. They have clipboards. One or two of them have tablet computers with like pens that they're scribbling information on. They're speaking amongst themselves, not necessarily hushed tones, but they're definitely focused on the task at hand.
Akris elbows Troyan,
She elbows Dante.
gestures towards
Okay.
Dum, dum, dum.
Sorry, yeah.
gestures towards them. Who wears a lab coat over a high-vis vest?
Either someone who's got science to do and then construction to do, or someone who maybe thinks they need to blend in a couple different places.
They're like clustered around something, or are they just
They're
like
like looking up and down at the soil that makes up the lower part of the mountain, in this kind of cliff edge, pointing it out. There's rocky outcroppings, but there is also some soil there, and they are just talking amongst themselves. Funnily enough, though, nobody's taking any photographs, and nobody seems to be taking any samples. They're just writing things down and talking. This is a public area.
Yeah, of course.
It's lab coats? Maybe it's changeling, and I just don't trust people in lab coats.
Classic. Is it?
No.
Does there happen to be anyone off, perhaps on their own? Everyone seems to be chatting.
they're all
amongst
together.
themselves, yeah.
Why were you hoping to like snipe one?
Drag them off into the woods. Hey, man, I don't know.
Take them down one by one. It's the only way.
Exactly.
I approve of this message.
Yes.
I'd probably be pretty familiar with the pathways around here.
Yeah.
I'm curious how to get above them to the top of this little small cliff.
It's relatively easy. You could do it without much trouble.
I'm gonna wander past.
Right.
See if it spooks them.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Oh, I
We'll
see.
be
Okay,
watching.
great.
So you want to be seen.
Yep. I'm gonna wander like into a little bit into the tree line, and then like come down around from like a slightly different angle. So rather than just walking up to them, so up above, top of the cliff sort of area.
Strange. They don't seem to be reacting to somebody being around here. Unless you're deliberately trying to make yourself like...
So like I walk by, I want them to be able to tell that I'm like there. I'm not trying
yeah,
to
they can
hide.
tell that
Yeah.
you're there, but they're not paying any attention to
I'm
you.
gonna stop and look out east over the city and start taking some pictures of the skyline.
Just at the skyline.
To start.
Okay.
Nothing.
They are talking an awful lot about apparent pH levels and erosion.
Erosion. I like drop my phone and look down over the cliff. Am I like in trouble up here?
They look up. They speak to you essentially, saying like, "Oh no, everything's fine." However,
Why are you in hard hats then?
they
like-
all seem to have like their clipboards suddenly pressed against their chests. Thing, like just sort of like a,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh, everything's fine.
what? Why? Safety. Something that I should point out for our viewers here. We are located in the city of Montreal, which is a city that is primarily francophone. So oftentimes when people will be talking in this game, they're actually speaking in French. I'm not necessarily going to point that out every single time. I assume that our player character's primary language is in English, but they all speak French. It's all on their sheets. So if I'm not making it clear, oftentimes it will be dealing in another language.
Yeah, I assume this conversation is probably in French. If
Yes.
they're...
The default language that strangers would use to communicate in Montreal is typically French.
For what it's worth, Troyan's French is very much a France French.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because she was in French immersion, and
Zut alors.
so like her French would like sound different than your folks's. Yeah.
Which there's a pretty large contingent of like people, like expats from France in Montreal as well.
Yeah, yep, very true.
specifically.
Absolutely. In the tech sector, there are.
And the video
Yep.
game industry also.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Specifically, which is interesting. Anyway, yeah, tech. But yeah, I'm sorry.
What was your last thing that you said? It's about why are you wearing hard hats?
Yeah. Like,
And they said safety.
Safety.
And then you said,
Right.
do you need to worry?
yeah.
No, absolutely not. We should go. And it seems that there's some unsettled sort of... You've definitely spooked them some.
Shrug. Picture of horizon. Picture of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Few pictures of them if they don't notice.
Roll initiative.
If they do notice, they're not paying that much attention. But as they start to leave, there's definitely like a feeling like this isn't a standard thing that you've noticed in the city. And they also don't look like city workers. The fact that they're wearing lab coats is also very strange.
I was going to say, John, like, is there any indication either on their coats or, I mean, they're wearing vests underneath, but like, is there any indication of City of Montreal affiliation, any sort of corporate affiliation? Like, is there any logos, basically, is my question. That are emblazoned.
To you, Captain, I rolled 0 successes on my wits awareness roll.
Yeah, to me, Captain, I wrote 0 successes on
The thing is, they've covered for you. No, they aren't wearing any obvious logos or any affiliations. Even their hard hats look... Oh, I will tell you this, though. Their equipment looks brand new. Like, these hard hats have not seen a scuff. They've no stickers on them. The lab coats are pristine white. And if you're walking around outside in a lab coat, that's possible, but it's not going to stay that way for very long.
Correct, yeah.
Looking at you just for last gags. Take notes.
Whoa.
You are calling out an institution. Take that.
Put people in hospital gowns that can't be brand new and clean and
That's
perfect.
it. And just like, who are they?
You gotta bleed on it a little bit.
Dante quickly kind of leans in towards
Yeah, I'm
Troyan. Is that how you make something unclean?
I would like punch myself in the face and then
Bloody up your...
yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to pull
Hashtag for art.
Dante leans in towards Troyan. Are you going to try to pull the concerned citizen play and talk to them before they
Do
get
I
out of
look
here?
like a concerned citizen?
Could you?
Is Troyan even a citizen?
Oh, shit. That's the real theme we're dealing with, folks.
I think no.
We
that's a
talked
good
about
question,
how
actually.
she maybe
You have a
has
visa.
she has a visa.
Oh.
Maybe
Good.
working towards landed
Yeah.
status. Yeah.
You know, if you marry it.
If Macris would just
Not
say
gonna get
yes.
You haven't asked. You can't beat around the bush. Yeah.
Guys!
Put a ring on it.
Episode 3!
We're already in a marriage of convenience.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
No. Troyan is like hoping that it somehow happens, but doesn't want to ask apparently.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Macris is just like, whoosh.
All of them get into some very, very fancy Escalades.
Escalates.
Yeah.
How possible would it be to try to snap a discrete photo of a license plate?
Not hard.
Okay, done.
Thank God. For me there, I thought Scott was going to be like, can you tell me what their license plate numbers are? And I'd be like,
It starts with F because it's a business, possibly a business vehicle.
Oh, very good.
yes, you have their license
Okay,
plates.
cool.
So
Yeah.
two Escalades
KYOU.
go off. And again, brand new.
Dante's gonna shepherd Troyan towards Macris so that we can.
Yeah.
Gonna
Yeah.
shimmy down.
Shimmy down. We can try to track them, figure out where they're coming from, but anyone get a beat on these guys?
Did they say anything to you?
Oh, they were talking about pH levels and erosion. There we go. I was like, soil decay. Not quite. Close. pH levels and erosion. But, no one wears a lab coat over a safety vest.
They could be taking false readings.
Or actually taking readings and have some sort of ulterior motives, or maybe they're like us and trying to play pretend and find out what's wrong with the mountain.
Mm.
We could see if the Sept knows anything. I say the Sept, I shouldn't say the Cairn, right? Because not everyone is.
So a sept would be the werewolves who are generally in charge of and who protect and guard a cairn.
So is the Sept correct in this
It'd
instance?
be like a community of guru that centers around a cairn. So yes, that's absolutely a way of doing it. To ask a cairn would make less sense because a
Yeah.
cairn is a location. It wouldn't necessarily be
Communing
wrong.
with
Like
the
I'll ask
spirit
the
of the area.
school, but you'd be more likely to say we could ask the students.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
We should see if they know anything and whether or not we have to act.
Yep, and let them know.
Troyan starts trudging up the mountain.
Yeah. And Dante close behind. I'm worried that I thought that Fox was telling us something was already wrong, but maybe Fox was.
Well, if there is pH levels and erosion, it's wrong.
It's true, but you got the same vibe we all did. This doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Well, you yourself, when you were in the Umber, did notice that the mountain felt like it was undergoing a drought.
Dry, yeah.
It's dry.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
I'm gonna write Dry Mountain. I'm sure I'll remember what that means.
Is that their new drink? Yeah.
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 Mountain Dry.
Oh gosh. Canada Dry Mountain Dew.
Canada
What a
Dry-
terrible
Oh!
mixers.
Yikes. We'll yeah, trudging up the mountain. We're essentially keeping to paths for now, but we remember, I'm sure, the way back towards the Cairn of the Weathered Storm through the forest, off the beaten track.
As you continue to progress off the beaten track up the mountain, oh, that's so strange. Macris, there's that tugging sensation again at your keys. And you feel it too.
Could I say, I meant to say it when we were at the bar, but I didn't. That Troyan has like
Carabiner?
carabiner, thank you. Carabinered her keys to her pants.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's smart.
She's like really paranoid about this for some reason.
Okay. You definitely feel some tugs, but it's not going anywhere.
Okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
Did you get a new set of keys?
Yes.
Okay.
I got it. Okay.
If you check your pockets, your keys are there.
Oh, good. If I like it. Okay, cool.
Hey there.
For now, yeah.
Macros says to the empty air.
I mean, when I say that it's a tug, it doesn't. It's not like something is yanking at your.
No,
keys.
it's
It's just more like a. It's a testing.
I love how that's supposed to make us feel better.
Just a little test.
Just those little pokes.
Well, mostly it's not like you can feel like because now it's attached to your pants. It's not like you're being dragged. Off
Yeah,
of-
oh, right. Not on like a leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although that would be
Took
amazing.
Troy into the woods. Ah.
But you definitely do feel that, and are you going to approach the cairn from the same direction that you did the last time?
That feels safe. Like, they wanted us to announce our presence last time because they didn't know who we were, and so there's some trepidation in that,
Again,
sect, for
the
sure.
litany says to respect the territory of another, which often means that when you're going to come onto somebody's territory, you don't sneak on. You make sure that they know you're coming. Often that's as simple as announcing your presence. It could be howl. It could be, in this particular case, though, just making sure that you're not obviously sneaking in. You already have announced who you are.
Right.
So it wouldn't be seen as a breach. Again, if the litany mattered, which it doesn't, but it does, but it might not.
It totally matters, except when it's not convenient. I kid. Probably.
So yeah, we're just like trudging up, not making a secret of our presence, I guess, and to the front door.
Expected entry path.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. There isn't a door, obviously.
No. Yeah.
But you arrive again at the place with the setup lean-tos, these concentric circles, that collection of stones stacked at the top. It appears that if there's any guardians out on the bond today, they haven't specifically decided to approach you, but there is someone sitting at the sitting just on the same log that you saw leaves the live before. Macros, you know of Sky One Last Dash. Relatively young Philodox, but she's probably the friendliest person at this cairn, and has probably offered to you a couple of times if she ran into you at the bar, like, you should come in, and whether or not you did is up to you.
Like Macros has been to the sept, but like definitely is, or to the cairn, but definitely isn't like actively involved.
She looks up, and when she sees you, oh, I'm so glad. Here, come in, please. I heard everything.
Everything?
Of course. You don't get to visit the Umbra while a Galliard watches you without everyone knowing. Here, come in, sit down. Do you want some tea?
Sure. Thank you.
In that little lean-to, there's a kettle, and it's not plugged into anything. It's, in fact, plugged directly into the ground.
Sick.
But for some reason, the water is still warm when she pulls it off and pours what is quite a bitter tea. I'm sorry, I don't have any milk or sugar, but next time, most people here don't take it.
No, it's fine. Thank you for your hospitality.
The Brit's eye twitches only once. It's fine. She keeps it relatively hidden.
+1 rage? Or,
One rate. Unacceptable tea.
Unacceptable. Put milk in first. Rage.
Is that like your dad?
Microwaving hot water.
Very. whole thing. Anyway, okay, that's fine.
I just steep the water without boiling the tea, and then I just microwave it with
Oh
tea
my
maker.
god. That was how the first fight
This
began.
is
in Montreal back
this
in
is
the
the hill we're dying on.
Yeah,
Ironically, of
literally.
course, but
Yeah.
ironically, literally, yeah.
So I understand that you've come here. Is it? I'm sorry, Cleaves the Lie isn't here.
It's not for Cleaves the Lie specifically.
Oh,
We're you've been so hospitable welcoming us in, Sky. It's
of course.
really nice to meet you.
Sky sits back down, and when she sits down, Dante, she sits down right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no gap.
Okay.
Like, your hips are touching.
Okay.
And then she makes sure that you have, like, she tops up your tea, even though you may not have even had some, and then sets the kettle down. But there's definitely a certain amount of honor in having Fox select you.
It was an unexpected twist to our time in the Umbra, and I think we're very happy with how that's gone. It's going to be a fruitful relationship.
He asked that we help heal the mountain. And on our way here, we saw some characters who were wearing lab coats, high visibility vests, muttering about pH levels, erosion, but they seemed... Macris got a better look at them.
They weren't on the lawn, were they?
No.
Just
Yeah.
outside.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't breach.
No,
what
comma,
they would
correct.
do. They're-
Yeah.
Close, though.
Why would there be scientists here?
I think they were scientists. I think they were posing as scientists. I don't know what they're up to, but it stinks.
Sky, we want to, of course, we want to best serve Fox, and I think all three of us want to make sure that, because we're going to be spending some time here, that Goose doesn't feel hard done by either.
Oh, that's very kind. You're very considerate. I'm sure that Goose will appreciate it.
It's a bit more than that, Sky. If we want to help Fox, then we want to help this area, this region. And if we're going to do that, we'll probably help this Cairn, Goose, everyone benefits, but we... Sky, can you... What happened here? If there's any history of this place that we should know, then maybe it will help us in our fight against those who want to destroy it.
There's a word that I don't remember. You are making claims that may not be true?
Assumptions?
Assertions?
Yes.
Okay. I don't mean to do that. I just think
You do not think that others who have visited the Umbra here would not have noticed that there is something wrong with the mountain?
we just don't know what it is. And we need to know more. We're all in this fight together, aren't we?
No. If it were that simple. Not everyone understands Gaia in the same way.
That's to be expected.
But we do have common enemies.
Perhaps.
Same sides of certain battles, even if there may be fights that fall differently.
We're not accusing you of ill-using the mountain. We're offering our assistance. In turn, any information we can have would be greatly appreciated. If you have any thoughts, hunches, inclinations, We have photographs of their license plates, and we can do our own research independently if that would make you feel more comfortable. We're here primarily to speak to Goose, to pay our respects, but if you would rather, we can take this far away from the mountain.
That isn't what I'm suggesting. Just with some of the older ones here, to imply that you have discovered something that they have not, even if that wasn't your intent, they may take offense. They often take offense.
Is it something you've experienced before? I'm very sorry.
Hasn't everyone?
Yes, but it's hard when it's people you see every day.
They understand. Those who are young will learn. Those who are old will teach. It is the way of things.
And it is difficult when you're young to feel like you have to walk on eggshells around someone. That a temper could turn at any moment.
To walk delicately is to be careful and cautious. But that's all right. It's important.
Sometimes.
Are you out of tea?
I am, but that's fine. I drink quickly. Thank you.
Oh, I was also out. Do you need water?
I'm okay. Kate is okay.
All right.
I'm so thirsty. Arr, grr, grr, grr. But Kate is okay.
None of you were here, so it is understandable, but the mountain has been this way for a long time. And it seems to be getting worse. Nothing we've managed to find can explain why we are losing more and more. It almost even seems as if the mountain does not reach as high as it once did in the Umbra.
The mountain is actively shrinking.
I do not know why.
Losing ground, rather literally, in the fight.
It has taken all of us in order to maintain what we have. 2 years ago, we almost lost this place.
Is that something you're comfortable speaking about?
What do you need to know?
Whatever you can share without consequence. I am very new here. I've only been in the city for 6 months.
Everyone who's been here has lost recently. Not all at the same time and not all in the same moment. It almost seems to be a requirement. But 2 years ago, there were a group of people who decided they wanted to build something on this side of the mountain. A fight that we were not prepared for. Violence did not solve it. We asked for help from neighboring cairns. We received no other assistance. In the end, the only way that we managed to stop the matter was by identifying the business that wanted to set this up and destroying it.
Business.
Yes. A group of people who have decided to gather together for the purposes of commerce. Sorry?
I'm just sipping my tea. Nothing.
But a business trying to make inroads here. Thought the city was supposed to protect the mountain, but I know they're trying to figure their way out of other
That is what we thought as well.
commitments.
We believe that we're safe. There is no current plan to do anything to this part of the mountain. We check now. We're vigilant. But it did happen, and we remember that none came to our aid. We would have thought that the... Then she looks up at Dante, and there's just this... Again, right? Sitting...
Yeah, literally, like...
Right next to you. And so when she looks up at you, there's just this moment of like, oh, I'm very close to you. And then...
You didn't.
And then she, as if she remembers, oh, and then she shifts a little bit off to the side so that you have a bit more room to sit. We would have thought the Glasswalkers would have helped us. They have far more connections with the city. But we heard nothing. Not even from their emissary.
I'm really sorry to hear that. That's
I am not blaming you.
No.
You do not speak for your entire tribe.
I don't.
You really don't.
No, I really don't. But the fact that Downstream wouldn't even... Maybe there'll be some chats we need to have.
Maybe. We don't tend to go there. If there was a fence... And she glances back, further back, into the other areas of the cairn itself.
I'm sorry I wasn't around.
Again, that isn't a question of whether or not you are to blame.
No, but I would have liked to have helped.
So would I.
You weren't even in the area.
No.
But I can't believe that other warriors of Gaia wouldn't want to fight. Wouldn't choose to come to your aid. I think I'm gonna take a rage, John.
Yeah, sure.
I think I am too. Quiet rage.
But quiet rage.
Rage itself.
Yeah.
Macros would have been off on one of her many, attempts at change through pseudo activism that probably led to nothing, much like many of her other ventures.
Rough.
Cleaves the Lie teaches us that we should take no action that causes a cairn to be violated. But perhaps there is a difference between an action and a not action?
There is. Very much so. And... Sky, you've already made your point very clear that there are some elders here, people with much to teach, with much wisdom and knowledge, that have a certain view of the world. And far be it from me to impose mine on this place. I don't even go here.
Maybe something you can offer Goose is some information.
About what we've seen today? Or something else?
Yes. Information about these scientists would help. Goose is very concerned about maintaining her home.
Of course. Yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
Maybe we'll even find out a bit more.
If you do, come back. I'll show you around the rest of this place. There's some things that have been hidden from you that you may find interesting.
Really? Okay. I have another question, Sky, and it's not one that I hope you take offense to.
Of course.
We've met Alice.
Yes.
Is she your only Theurge here? The only one who maybe has a private relationship with Goose?
No.
Okay.
No, Sight of Seven is also here sometimes. And then there's this kind of a... Not quite
Like
a little bit of a...
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, okay.
But-
It's like, cool.
Goose does not get along with Sight of Seven.
I see. Okay. Well, we've certainly learned more than we've certainly learned quite a bit already, which is good. And perhaps we'll be able to offer some information to Goose. I don't want to get on anyone's... I don't want to get on anyone's bad side. That's not quite true.
There's some bad sides we will happily get on.
Exactly.
Oh. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the tea.
I don't care what's going on. I don't care if we're in some sort of fight or whatever. If shit like that happens again, you contact me and I will put aside whatever is going on. This mountain is the center of the city. It's the heart of this island. I'd rather not get in a fight with you, but I mean it.
There's a pause, and then I'm sure that I can howl loud enough for you to hear.
Anyway, let's go. Do the thing.
Do that thing.
Get up!
Thanks, Sky. If you do have a chance to speak with Dew or Alice, let them know, or Leaves the Lie, let them know we've come, and let them know that we'll be back. Please.
I'm sure they'll be interested to know that you've decided to come back.
Were they concerned that we wouldn't?
You chose Fox.
But Macris is right. This place is the heart of the city.
No. The heart is further in. Bring something for Goose and I'll show you.
Is the implication right now? I say this out of character. Does she kind of seem ready to lead us in now?
No.
Okay.
More like when you have something and you make nice with the spirit who generally watches over this entire cairn, then it might be safe for me to show you more.
All right.
But for now, unless you really don't value your valuables.
Scamper off and come back with something useful.
I famously
Got it.
do actually value most of my valuables, so yeah. It's,
Kind of in the name.
it is. But uh-oh. But we'll, no.
Headed back the way you came.
Yeah.
Okay. When you return... The Escalades are back.
For fuck's sake.
Weird.
So they drove off and then they returned. The scientists, however, are doing a little bit, or
Scientists.
Whoever,
Lab coats.
Yeah.
the lab coats, they're doing a little better job of being less conspicuous. Now they're in the trees and they are crouching down. They're gathering soil samples, although something that you well, let's see what you notice. Macris, you're the one who noticed them best. Why don't you give me a... You don't have any science, do you?
No.
No? Do any of you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you give me a wit science, please?
Great.
You can roll as well if you want. The difficulty of 2.
I have a specialty in computer science.
This will not apply.
Just checking.
It's a good thing to have.
Wits. Pure wits.
Oh, sorry. I have to re-roll. I didn't roll both my rage dice.
Yep. If you didn't roll your rage dice, you must re-roll.
Just the one.
Just the one.
Ooh. What a re-roll.
Spicy?
Very spicy. Not in a bad way, though. Muy caliente.
Scott, can I borrow the binder?
The binder, yeah, of course.
Or, yeah, you can pass me the real book.
Oh.
We have the real book. I rolled a success. I just need to look up the whole rage dice outcome situation.
If 2 dice have a 1 or a 2 on them on your rage dice.
That's for like a brutal outcome. I'm talking about losing rage. It's only on a rage check?
Only on a rage check.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yep. Or if an effect tells you that you will lose rage.
I rolled 6 successes.
Damn.
Another critical success. Wild. Well, that's
I guess we're gonna have to give him some information. The first thing that I'll tell you is that while they seem to be taking samples of the soil, they're definitely not doing a very good job of it. they're trying, but they're doing things like using the same equipment, so cross-contamination is occurring. They are applying certain, like they're dumping them in certain test tubes, but you can tell that these are the wrong kinds of sample containers for soil. Like, why are they using glass, like glass test tubes for this? That doesn't make any sense at all. And why are they running these tests immediately, like in the field, putting droplets on, using testing for pH and the like, when they have, why put them in sample containers if they're not going to take them elsewhere? So they're not doing the science right.
Okay.
Second thing that I'll point out is that of the people who are doing this, not one of them is doing it correctly. All of them are doing it in strange ways. So that implies, but the thing is, they do know how to do the tests.
Right.
So it implies that somebody told them what to do, but either they didn't pay very much attention, or whoever told them didn't care that much about it.
Right.
So it's possible that they're doing this simply to appear like they're working.
Got it.
As opposed to doing something.
It's not like everyone's doing the exact same thing, so it's like some sort of ritual or whatever, right? Like, it's not
That's
like
right.
that either. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
So they're making a big show of looking like they know what they're doing. The last thing that you notice as they're doing this is that they are pocketing stones surreptitiously. So while they're making a big show about showing soil and the like, as if they don't want people to know that they're collecting these stones, like large stones, not pebbles, they're taking them and then putting them in either their lab coat pockets or the like, and then not replacing them.
Quick huddle with my pack here. I'm gonna see what I can do. See if I can get one of them to maybe spill the beans a little bit. Get them a little scared. If they take off, does anyone want to be in charge of trying to grab one? Oh. Whoa. Quick volunteer.
You take that side, I take this side.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna essentially, I think, attempt sort of like a pincer business with these two
We're
going
the-
around.
Pincer, and you're the, like, central
Thrust.
approach.
Probe.
The probe.
Probe.
I'm the probe.
She takes off her jacket and quietly folds it and puts it behind a tree.
Don't want to get blood on this. Dante is going to casually, not too quickly, saunter forward and crouch down next to one of these scientists.
Okay. As you crouch down, you notice, oh, that's strange. Your wallet doesn't seem to have as big a bulge.
Son of a...
Bold reduction.
Man. You know what?
Hooray! Goose! Goose! So skin. Fuck!
I stand goose.
No, we all stand good. I'm just... I'll work on it.
You're just the one who keeps failing his wits aware.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'll have to work on that, I guess.
So some bulge is missing from your wallet, or your whole
Yes.
wallet is missing?
No, some bulge is missing from me.
No,
Yes, my wallet.
the
Yeah.
wallet is less full.
Yes, less bulgy. Yeah,
So you
yeah.
carry around like fistfuls of
Coins.
cash in your wallet.
Just
What I
quarters.
like is that also you have a pool of 4 in wits awareness.
It's
you
not bad. Yeah, it's definitely not. No, any file giveth, any file taketh away. These are great dice. I'm loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Okay, so like noticing in this and just Dante tries to put it from his mind briefly as he leans in and sort of cracks a relatively friendly smile at this scientist. Hey there, bud. Couldn't help but notice you're doing a couple of weird little things here on a gorgeous Monday afternoon.
You shouldn't be here, sir.
I think actually you'll find I should be here, and you are the one who shouldn't be here.
No, this is official business. You need to leave here right away for your own safety.
Dante's going to lean in even closer and whisper the following phrase. I think for your own safety, you should give me everything that you have on that clipboard right now.
Okay.
Some bared teeth, perhaps.
Cool. Why don't you roll me your manipulation intimidation?
Yep. Do I have to? Yes, I do. No, that's 100% fair. 1 success.
Did you roll 1 die?
Yes. 50-50.
What?
So
Oh,
look,
wow.
the way that no, I'll talk about this on break. I'll talk about the way pools work on break in W5. I think it's fascinating. I rolled a success.
I'm going to offer you success at a cost.
Okay. Sorry,
Because you need
what is it?
2.
Okay.
So if I'll agree that you can intimidate this person into giving up some information, but it's going to mean that he'll manage to alert the other scientists that you're plugging him for info, so they'll be aware.
Okay. I accept this cost.
Okay. So he starts speaking loudly enough that the other scientists. We are simply collecting soil samples, sir, but there may be an environmental concern here. We're concerned about acidity in the soil, and you may be in danger. You should not be here.
That's so strange.
And then the other scientists perk up. How about the two of you roll your... let's call it, because you're in brush right now, let's call it your dexterity stealth.
This probably hasn't been carefully considered, so we are not getting the fox.
You made the plan.
We are getting
You
the fox
discussed what you were doing.
bonus.
Yes, you discussed what you were doing before you set
Fox
it.
bonus.
Plus 1 die.
Thanks, Fox.
Yeah, you got it.
Stealth
You
what?
got it, buddy.
Stealth.
Dex stealth.
It's side.
Goose egg.
There's 3 3s and a 2.
3 success.
Whoa!
Yay, Matt Chris.
I'm a sonar. It's one of the things we do.
That's true.
A rat.
The other scientists start to stir, and then one of them nods over towards your area. You've been seen.
Mm-hmm.
You really need to go. All of you. Believe me, it's not safe, and this is not an area for the mountain for tourists.
I step out, arms crossed,
Fucking
and starts walking over.
Tourists.
Despite my very charming accent, I can assure you I live here, own a business just a few blocks away.
If you live here, you know that this part of the mountain is closed.
Oh, where are the barricades? Where is the tape? You're talking about safety and risk, but you have not made local businesses aware of what you're doing. In fact, I would really like to see a permit for the work that you're doing on this mountain.
We don't need a permit.
Yes, you do. Trust me, I've done a lot of Canadian paperwork recently.
You know, that's a threat. There's a, they glance amongst each other, and then one of them goes, "We'll go. Let's go. Come on, all of you." And they each stand up and they start to walk out of the area towards where their 2 Escalades are double parked.
Real villains. Double bark.
Double parked!
True evil.
I'm asking, but I know the answer. Is any of them, or any one of them, like, going off to their own car? Is anyone isolated from the pack, John?
Anyone isolated from the pack.
Bingo, chill. Bingo.
Survived the My Service Canada website. I know what's up.
No, literally though. Yeah. Very good.
No, they have retreated both to, there's 6 scientists, 3 each to 1 car.
Can Macros intercede from the other side?
Intercede how?
I'd like to attempt to step between them and their vehicles. And you stare down. Which I can use in any form.
That is true.
And on mundane humans, it succeeds automatically.
That
Causes
is also
the target to get out of the werewolf's way while averting their eyes, if not outright groveling, which gets them away from their vehicles and makes them have to figure out somewhere else to go.
Oh man.
true. Okay, that'll cost you a rage check.
I guess
so
I shouldn't be doing that right now.
That is 7.
So you get to keep your age.
What is that,
Hey.
like 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
Late afternoon. I
Probably
don't.
shouldn't be howling in anyone's face.
It's like 5.
Yeah.
It's Frosh week. It's not, but like
Might be.
There could be some howling. It's early
Three of
September.
the scientists
Sorry, yeah.
back. So you can. Here's what I'm going to offer you. You can have all scientists from one car back off,
Yeah.
leaving one car empty and one car full, or you can try to isolate only 2 of the scientists, but they're one from each car.
I have no idea.
Oh.
I'd say,
Maybe let one car get away so we
Yeah.
can search the other car.
yeah, that one car.
Oh, that's a great fucking idea.
Okay.
Sorry, that's...
My inclination was to pick one car, yeah.
One
Yeah,
of the cars
sounds good.
peels off, but the other one is there, and you see the 3 of them just are backing off, and they're very much like, it's gonna be okay. It's fine. We're just doing our jobs.
Hand over the iPads.
And or no, I guess he saw the rocks, so.
Okay. So now you're threatening them.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to roll now.
What's the diff?
How are you threatening them though? Are you just like walking up to them being like, hand over the iPads? Or are you flexing your...
I'm planting my feet, staring, unblinking at the one that looks the most like they're gonna pee their pants, and holding the gaze.
Okay. All right, then, Troyan, I'm going to have you roll your charisma intimidation.
Okay.
And that difficulty is going to be, because they're also being stared at the moment, let's say it's 2.
Could I take half, please? Or would you like me to roll because of my rage?
Your charisma intimidation is
5.
5, so then yes, you can take half.
Hey!
Taking half, folks, is when you have a pool that is, how do I explain this properly, that is equal to twice...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Twice the
this
number of successes that you require.
Yeah.
Yeah, so an auto win, if you know, so this would kind of technically be an auto win. As much as taking half is effectively the same thing. If you don't know what the difficulty is, you can still chance it and take half without knowing that it's not a win.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So they hand over 1 iPad and 2 clipboards. Not all of them are carrying iPads. The iPad's locked, fortunately,
Hand that to Dante.
How is it locked?
because it's an iPad.
No, but I mean like
Beep boop this
fingerprint or...
motherfucker.
Fingerprint.
But like, is it a fingerprint or is it a
and
password?
Password usually.
Face ID and password.
Can I walk up to them and just do this?
Technically, because they're all stare down and they're all looking down. No, you can't.
Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get into these.
Cracking into this thing will take some time, but it won't be the end of it.
I will hold on to it for now.
I start looking at the clipboards.
The clipboards have an odd list. You can tell it's a list because it's got bullet points and there are checks, but it's written in a language you don't understand. In fact, it's written using letters you don't understand.
Oh god.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
You want to tell us what you were actually doing?
Doing our jobs.
What is your job today at this particular moment?
We were just supposed to collect some things from the mountain.
What things?
Just some things. They're getting increasingly nervous.
Just
Look,
what are
I
they?
work in construction, okay?
What are they gonna do to you?
They just offered us a bunch of money if we'd come out and just get some things.
Who the
And are you in danger if you don't get those things?
Why would we be in danger?
So, what's gonna happen if you hand over those things?
We get paid.
And if you don't hand over those things?
I don't know. When you're offered a job, they don't typically tell you what they're going to do to you if you don't do it.
Great, then they haven't threatened your lives.
Yeah.
That's good. Because it certainly seems nefarious what they've got you up to. Especially since you won't specify what things you're collecting.
Soil, rocks. Who the fuck are you working for that they're paying you actual cash for this shit? Which hurts a little bit to say out loud for sure, but I'm doing it anyway.
Why? Why does it hurt?
Oh, because Dante's like, the soil, the rocks, you know.
What?
Everything has a spirit, John. Everything has a spirit.
Oh, it's the people who own the building that we were working at. They just asked us to come down here and they gave us a list. See, it's right there.
They gave you this.
Yes.
Can you read it?
Yes.
What does it say?
And they pick it up and then
She keeps a hand on it.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Looks. And then reaches into a pocket and pulls out a stone. What?
No, that makes sense.
What was that, Latin?
French.
I don't think so.
Those people out there, not French.
Not French.
Famously.
Famously.
Or you kids at home.
Ceci n'est pas un français.
Which building do you work for?
Gives the address of a warehouse that's off in the east end of the island. If you look on a map, by the way, what we call the east end, it's really north.
The island is a boomerang.
Yeah,
and this is the east end, and this is the west island.
It's all very silly, but
Yeah.
kind of how we roll here, yeah.
The east end contains a bunch of industrial districts.
Hey, look, I think, we were maybe a little quick to jump to judgment with these guys, right? They're just doing their jobs.
Yeah.
We work for a company called Climata. Reaches into his pocket and pulls out a business card. This person's job title is mail clerk.
So, Climata?
Climata.
like
Climata. If Climata actually exists, I didn't bother Googling it, so sorry, Climata.
Not in our universe.
Nope.
What's a Climata with you?
Hey.
Mott's Clemata. Okay.
It's a... Look, you do what you need to do to, get hustle or whatever, but you sort mail. What are you doing out here?
Being paid a lot of money to pick
I
up
get
some...
it. Oh. No, I get it. Don't, we just want to make sure that nobody's taking anything they shouldn't be taking. You understand?
Is it wrong to be taking those?
Well, public means one thing, but yeah, this land is owned by the city as well. They might not be too happy if they know people are tampering up
It's just a few...
here. Oh, God.
Hand one over.
Hands you a... it's a stone the size of a baseball. It's heavy, but not, like, unduly so. Feels like
Looks
a normal stone.
at it, shows it to Macris and Dante.
Feels pretty typical.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, like, smooth like a baseball. It's
Mhm.
just about that size.
I'm going to hold on to this one.
I really wish that you would give it back.
Well,
I could really use the money.
You may want to start looking for a job with a company that isn't breaking the law before you get in trouble for following orders.
Whatever. They're paying me a lot of money for this. $2,000. Look, I'll go get another one.
no, you won't. Now get in your little car and drive away.
It's a pretty big car. It's an Escalade. He gets in. The other two are following.
Mhm.
And then they peel out like a bat out of hell. There's a honking from other cars as they are definitely making a lane change without signaling properly.
Oh. Yes.
And they squeal off.
So, anyone speak gobbledygook?
Not yet.
Your French is very different from mine.
This has got to be some sort of way of keeping secrets, right? A code. Some way of translating ideas or concepts that doesn't require language that can't be caught. Does it look like like we still have, I imagine?
Oh yeah, I kept the tablets and
Does the script look like any sort of script we've seen before? No, eh?
It doesn't even look like a language that exists that you've seen. Like it's not like Cyrillic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or Arabic or anything. Oh, Arabic would be.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think we have information we can bring to Goose.
I think we've got the beginnings of something that we need to look into more. Yeah, exactly.
She goes and gets her blazer back. Okay, good.
I'm wondering
whether you need a break.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Ta-da.
I was looking up the origin of gobbledygook, and it was someone being like, speak English instead of, like, tech jargon kind of thing.
Oh!
So I was
Specifically.
just like, oh shit, is this one of those phrases that's actually super racist in origin? And for once, it isn't!
Yay!
Whoa!
Phew.
All right. We're going to take a short break. It'll be about 5 minutes. We are going to run some ads, not because we want to, but because otherwise when people show up to the stream, they get ads. But you can always ask us questions. Now's a good time to talk to us because I'm going to stick around. But others will be right back.
See you in a sec.
Leaving en masse.
I'll step out in a moment. Because
Do you need anything, John?
I just wanted to. It came up in session, right? Rolling one die on a roll. What I think is really cool, we've played some World of Darkness games before, and we've played storyteller system games as well. Mm-hmm. Games that like run on a D10 with a 1 to 5 in stats, et cetera, et cetera. I just think it's interesting because in other games we've played, character creation is usually on a point buy system. So if 2 out of 5 is like average in an attribute and having 1 or 2 in a skill is like, you're trained.
Consider trained, yeah.
Yeah. Then you would typically point buy in a way so that you could sort of flesh out the character in the direction that you wanted. Whereas you might say, okay, well, and I just remember conversations you and I have had about going, oh, you want to take a 1 in an attribute. Interesting. Let's talk about that. Oh, you want to take a 5 in an attribute. Interesting. W5, and I can't speak to Vampire 5th, unfortunately, but I imagine it's a 5th edition thing for these games, has it has a selection of dots you have to take for your attributes, and then a number of skill distributions that you can choose. So, at starting character creation, all characters will have some pools that they will have 1 die in. And most characters will have up to 7 or 8 in one pool as well, if the pools are an attribute plus a skill. Which, I don't know, and Hunter, of course, thank you, Kung Fu Founders. Yeah, and I just think that's really fascinating, because for the first time ever, I had to make some serious choices about, oh shit, there's going to be some pools that I have 1 in. As opposed to normally, right? Normally you could say, okay, I have 2 in all my attributes, skill, 1 in a bunch of skills.
You can't spend willpower in order to get an automatic success.
Bingo. Yeah, I could have re-rolled this 1 die by spending a willpower, but why?
That would have helped you. You already had a success.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Just doesn't. Yeah. No, I think it's fascinating. It's definitely a very different way of doing this aspect of character creation from what we're used to, and I think it's cool. I also knew that, I knew this would come up at some point. Doesn't feel great, but feels like this is Dante's weak point, as it were.
Well, it's not as if you can't buy that up.
No, exactly.
2.5 sessions though. It costs you 10 in order to increase an attribute from 1 to 2.
New times 5, right? I think I just wrote that down. It's a lot. But there you go. But maybe we leave it as a weak point. Who knows?
You're allowed to have weak points.
Thanks, John. Oh, Dante. Right, yeah, sure. No, I thought that was fascinating. It's fascinating. How you doing?
I admit that because you don't get extra experience to start, you don't have freebies to spend like you would in a W20 game.
That's the other part.
Then yeah, it's you will start the game with some deliberate holes.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, thank you. That's the other thing I meant to mention as well. People sometimes use their freebie points to like round out weaknesses, increase their strengths even more, because it's like, oh, you can't buy past 4 unless you use your freebie points, right? Is some
Right.
rules. Plus C20, our longest running game, changing the streaming, there were merits that you could buy that basically gave you invisible dots and a bunch of things, right? I had it. It was great.
One of the most powerful merits in the game.
It was.
actually, Jack of all trades.
Kind of. Yeah. It wasn't silly. I just, because like for me, it was a role-playing thing to be like, he's had a wide, like he's had a big experience out of there in the world. He's learned a lot of things, But yeah, from a dot perspective, it was pretty fucking sweet. Yeah, Aragwen. Reading me as always, and I love it. Now, excuse me, I'm gonna get up and go, but it has nothing to do with that. Excuse me. I'll be RP. Yep. The king of most trades.
So I was just mentioning how his character has deliberate holes, and that it's not something that you can kind of just ignore at this point.
No, very much.
Speaking of deliberate holes, I gotta drag this thing over. Here. There we go.
Yes, we need it's deliberate holes. Important to work into your character concepts. But sometimes soul crushing when they come up. They come into play. Deliberate holes.
And where are you headed next?
In life?
Mint. Do you have an idea of where you want to go after this?
I think that we should see if there's enough info to bring this to Goose. Or do you think
don't really
we
have much-
should keep digging?
You have suspicions of things that are happening, but you don't have any answers.
I just want to find somebody who can read
Yeah.
or who can tell us what that list says.
That's my next.
So is that like, yeah, Glasswalker, a
Might be.
Theurge would, I guess Goose wouldn't necessarily be able to read it.
Yeah, seems spooky ooky to Macros, so my inclination would be like, yo, Theurge, what the heck is this?
If you suspect ill doing of it, it may not be wise for you to bring such a language inside a
Yeah.
sacred place.
And start with
Okay.
start with asking your Theurge, but then seems like evil, very evil.
We might have to go find other Theurges. But yeah,
Sorry,
we
there
would.
are no other theurges. There's just Dante. That's
Just the one,
the only theurge ever.
ever. Plug these holes. Oh boy.
Again, we were discussing Scott's character having holes in his abilities on his sheet,
Mm-hmm.
like most of you. Actually, I
what
think
you're talking about.
having your sheet.
I haven't been asked to roll 2 things that I have no dots in. aka
Ask me to sing, I dare you.
Performance
Ask
is
me
the
to-
new craft.
Cuddle a puppy, come on.
I can cuddle a puppy.
I cannot.
That's good.
Last
But Liz, when you
Theurge.
filled out your sheet, you chose the Jack of all trades
Correct.
spread. So
But
yeah,
there are
you
still
have-
some trades I cannot jack.
You have
Is that what we're... Alright,
Yeah.
I like it. I was considering specialist. I mean, still, but-
sorry.
ready?
Go there.
Oh, yeah.
So there you have it.
Mhm.
You have 2 clipboards, a tablet that you currently can't unlock. Clipboards have a language potentially that you cannot read, and you have 1 stone
And their business card.
and a business card.
And a business card.
So I'm just going to make a little list. One's done.
So, I'm at an evil or another bane. What are we thinking?
Don't have enough information yet.
Just points to clipboard.
We got some. And I think that's going to be very useful. Feels to me like some sort of concerted effort to do something.
Collect stuff listed in the language of
Yeah.
demons. Speak the language of monsters. We're monsters, so I'm saying
Sorry. Yeah.
something.
It's possible that these items could be used, I don't know, in a ritual maybe? Or could be used to, well, it could be for scientific purposes to determine the geological makeup of this mountain, although that's probably a matter of pretty public record. Look, I wonder, the Cairn of the Weathered Storm, they said they knew some things. They said they fought off, or rather destroyed the business that was at the heart of a conspiracy to take over the Cairn or push the Cairn out.
How many businesses have you seen say they're going out of business, and then 2 months later something with the exact same product line pops up?
They come back with a different name.
Exactly. I think, Ryan, you were saying we do have information. We can take this back to Goose right away, but I'm wondering if we want to see if we can decode all of it a little bit further. I don't have the resources here, but I know some people who will.
Back with answers, not questions.
Exactly.
Troyne takes out her phone and quickly Googles Climata.
Climata is a company that is on the lookout for environmental solutions for your business. But their website is pretty bare bones, and the copyright states 2023, so it's pretty new.
You also get a hit for a Python library to deal with climate data.
Oh,
I
that's
just
cool.
Googled it.
That's cool.
You don't get that.
Oh, it doesn't exist in this universe?
I don't want the confusion.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
But thanks for Googling.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't seem to really belong to anything of great significance beyond that.
I wonder if we take this information and see if we want to widen the net a little further. The people at Downstream can probably help us. And they may have even encountered these guys before. It's possible. Frankly, I want to know why they didn't help the Cairn of the Weathered Storm. That doesn't have to come up today, but maybe it will.
Maybe coming out. Words swinging. As much as I'm currently feeling like, hey assholes, why the fuck didn't you help?
Thank you.
What reason could they possibly have?
Exactly.
Maybe there was beef.
That doesn't... When a cairn is threatened, when a place of power is threatened, when the Guru are threatened, you don't turn your back on them.
You heard how Cleese the Lie was.
Right?
Doesn't want bones near him. What
Yeah.
kind of beef do you think exists between him and a cairn mostly full of theorists? Glasswalkers. Sorry. Yep. That one. One thing. The thing that Dante is.
The other one.
Not the third. The urge.
It's a good
Glasswalker.
point, though. You're right. Maybe he said some things that really got under their skin. I guess we just don't know. And I kind of want to know.
Yeah.
But also, more importantly right now, like you said, maybe they can help us get answers. If we're okay to share this information. We don't have to tell Leaves the Lie whose help we got right away if we don't need to.
I want to know what language this is. Or if there's some kind of something on it. Who owns that company?
We can find that information out. It's going to take a bit of time. But thinking maybe they've encountered them before. It's possible. Or you can just walk over there and knock on the front door.
No, let's go.
That's, hey, I know that's your
I
jam.
cannot be responsible for my actions if I go and probably not knock on the door.
I can pay them a visit again. At least figure out who stinks. Maybe think to look for a safe room this time around before someone barricades themselves inside of it.
Good idea. Okay. I imagine our path will take us there eventually. But let's see what we can get and bring back. Let's go to Downstream.
Start walking slow motion.
The mountain explodes behind us.
Oh,
that's
We all
probably
put
good.
on our sunglasses at the same time. Turn
Mine
to
have
Downstream.
little LEDs on them,
Ah.
just to show that I'm the.
Are you wearing like those like Google lenses?
Oh my god! No, I thought you were gonna say the like '80s kind of banded.
Oh yeah,
Those
yeah,
are
you
cool.
can have that too. Those are cool.
Yeah, they can be.
What kind of Metro cards does everyone have? Do you buy like individual trips? Do you buy like a tenner? Do you have like a monthly pass?
What does everyone have?
That's great. That's a great character
This
question.
tells
I
a
love
lot,
it.
you know.
All right. No, I have resources. So I would. No, this is. I'm just thinking about it. I would have a monthly pass.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you buy the full pass or did you pretend you were a student?
I'm not a.
Did you put yourself into a university database so that you could get a student pass?
That's like the equivalent of like $350 a year,
Yeah.
but it's also a crime. So
I also officially don't exist. So that feels like a bad choice. So no, I'm gonna say I'm a regular.
Brigante. At
I
Concordia.
have. Oh, I
Ooh,
got caught. No, a monthly Opus Pass.
nice.
Yeah, Macris. I don't think Macris has her life together enough to be an Opus LNA member to get that sweet $5 a month discount and Maestro member status. But probably a monthly pass. But I feel like sometimes she's a little late to work and really pissed off because she forgot to buy the new bus pass for the month.
Oh shit. Does she have the app? Like, does she do it remotely, or does she?
No,
only,
no, no.
Does she go to the
machine.
kiosk?
move on to Downstream.
We can probably talk about this for a long time.
Yeah. It is interesting, but I can see this taking another 20 minutes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, forgets what day of the month it is.
This is fair.
Downstream is located, in fact, on Ile Notre Dame. Ile Notre Dame is an island that was created very specifically when Montreal decided to build a subway. And all the earth that it excavated, they basically had to dump somewhere, and so they put it in the St. Lawrence River and created an island for it. But Downstream isn't located on the island, it's located below. Ile Notre Dame is the source of, in fact, during the 1976 Montreal Summer Olympics, infamously a debacle for anybody who was around here, of which none of us were, because not that old.
No.
But it's the rowing basin, and underneath it, you, Dante, know how to access it. There's a few underground kind of like sewer accesses, not necessarily the sewer itself, but just like maintenance tunnels and the like, and one of those doors, which normally remains locked, can be entered, and then you can proceed along a long corridor to get towards where Downstream is located.
Dante is leading everybody there. Look, you all probably know, I choose not to spend a lot of time here, despite the fact that it seems like a bit of a paradise in a way for me. It's just, we don't all get along, right? You understand. We don't all get along.
Someone gonna put their fist through your face when we step through that door?
I sincerely doubt it.
So it's not that.
That's not a no.
Not a no. But just so that you know, that's why I'm not here all the time. And also, I happen to like spending time with the two of you. Sue me. Don't actually sue me. Yeah, okay.
That was kind of nice. Are we a real pack now? Is that our name, the Three Friends? Sorry, I'm not laughing. Troy's not laughing.
No,
She's
Troy is
Three
not
Friends.
laughing, sorry.
That's disgustingly saccharine.
It's not a great ring to it.
I will create a new cocktail called the Three Friends Forever. And it will be pink, and it will be garnished with maraschino
Excuse
cherry.
me.
This
Oh,
is my 2 weeks notice.
And then a woman who is wearing so she's got her hair tied back in a black ponytail. Her jacket that she's wearing, even though it's still relatively warm outside, has a definite look and feel of the same kind of vinyl jacket that you would pick up if you were like motorcyclist,
Okay.
right? Alongside wet look black leggings and a t-shirt underneath the jacket, which looks like it's been torn in a few places. And she's the one who pushes the door open and then goes, "Oh, it's you," and then continues to walk through.
Do I get a hello?
Apparently not.
Oh, damn, it's gone. Okay.
do you recognize who that is?
Great question. Do I recognize who that is?
Uh,
I think so. I feel like I've spent time
you recognize it as Chantal Lajoie, but no one calls her Chantal. Everyone calls her To the Moon.
here. Okay.
We have they never
Or they them.
they them
Sorry.
pronouns.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
My bad.
Oh, no, that's my bad as well. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so Chantal. So they just did they pass by us, or did they like open the door and then slam it in our face?
They just left the door swinging. Like it's closing on its own.
Okay. I'll go to grab it. That's Chantal. Sorry. That's To the Moon. They're probably very busy. A lot of business to attend to. Hey, we all gotta fight for Gaia in our own way.
They seem thrilled to see you.
That's not even the worst of it. That's a joke.
The door closes.
Ha.
I will go to. Is it?
Yeah.
But it hasn't locked behind. I'll come in. I'll open it. And step through.
You can see To the Moon down the hallway and continuing to walk, and then when it's clear that the three of you are joining, they stop and turn around, put their hands on their hips. What, are you bringing strays in now?
This is my pack. We're a pack, yeah.
You're a pack,
Yeah.
and you're called what? The Three Friends?
No. That would be incredibly saccharine.
That was meant as a joke, not a first impression.
Actress laugh.
What are you doing here,
Which almost
Dante?
makes Troyan laugh.
We have an opportunity and we have questions, and this would be the best place to get them answered.
Explain why that's any of our concern.
I think you'll be very, very interested to know there's an organization that's got some very strange hooks in the mountain and are going to be attempting something very strange in the coming days. Yeah. Watching.
Do I look like I give a fuck about the mountain? Whatever.
I'm sure.
Bring your groupies with you.
Huh. I'm sure somebody around here cares what happens to the city.
You said the mountain, not the city.
You don't think those are connected at all? The spirit of the city that's named after the mountain around which we've built it.
It's a name, dumbass. What use is a name when the heart of the city isn't on the mountain? It's a decrepit cross and a bunch of tourists and a cemetery. Do I look like I give a damn?
Sounds like you've given up.
No. I just know where the real action is. But whatever, like I said, bring your groupies. You can show them around the place.
Thanks.
I would like to take a rage.
I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
Thanks To the Moon. A wonderful welcome as always.
It's not my fault. You had every opportunity.
Okay. I'll just ask around and see if anyone wants to help. That's what I'll do, and then I'll go.
Whatever. And at the end of the tunnel, they push a door open, and then as soon as they push the door open, air conditioning rolls out of the room. They keep it very cold.
Blazer goes back in.
Yeah.
In this, they keep it very cold in this room. We're talking like 17 degrees Celsius.
Jesus.
Dante is immediately like, I'm home. Oh, thank God. It's great.
So that would be about 62 and a half, 63 Fahrenheit for our
Definitely
Fahrenheit minded
Celsius
people.
challenge.
chillier than
Celsius
room
challenge
temperature.
friends.
That's for sure.
This first room has one very it looks like IKEA barfed in this room and just threw itself everywhere. So we're talking like Billy bookcases and stop looking. God. Billy bookcases, coffee tables, beanbag chairs are everywhere, and there's a couple of other guru who have fallen back into two of these beanbag chairs, and they seem to be typing away at laptops, but they glance up at you. One of them is dressed in just a very sort of plain jeans t-shirt combo. He looks at Dante and doesn't seem to hate him on sight, which is helpful.
We'll take the win.
Taking
the W.
And the other one, who's dressed in a very gothic style dress. No, that's not the right word. I have to look up the right word. Talk amongst yourselves.
We've met the Wednesday Adams.
Heck bros. So they've got like a fridge full of Red Bull somewhere, right? Or jet fuel or whatever is hip with the youth.
I imagine so.
Kind of a black vest over a white ruffled shirt. Short black shirt, Lolita style, with a big giant bow at the front. But then her face is scarred in a few places on her cheeks. And the boots that she's wearing are definitely not Lolita style. They are steel-toed clonkers.
Nice. Good for kicking ass. I imagine I recognize these two. I kind of give a small wave and
the one in the one wearing the what's the first outfit I described?
Jeans.
and a t-shirt.
Jeans t-shirt. That's any percent.
Okay.
So any percent is a ragabash. Any percent is known basically for being quite reckless but quite quick in getting in and out of places. He doesn't like going in through normal doors or windows. He'll find other ways to get in. His prime method of doing things is to not be seen, and that doesn't always work out.
Incredible.
The other one is, that's the wrong box.
That's the one who didn't hate you on sight, right?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, great.
The other one is Apotheosis.
Nice. It's an amazing name. It's a
Right?
good name.
Right?
Such a good name.
Super badass.
A Galliard who is recently, Dante, you know that Apotheosis has made a push to be the leader of the Sept, despite not being around as long as some of the other members.
Okay.
To the Moon drops their backpack on the table, and it makes a dull thud. I brought drinks, and I picked up an idiot. And any percent looks up. You don't have to be like that. I mean, look at him. He's fine. There's never been a problem. Have we ever had a problem, Dante?
I don't think so.
No, exactly. Who are these? Who are these two? Hi.
This is my pack. This is Troyan. And Macris.
Mandrew.
But you
Bye.
can call him any percent. I assume you still go by.
They might not understand that.
Oh, right. Sure.
They might not get it.
I don't need to understand it to call you what you wish to be called.
Yeah, you do whatever you have to.
Would you prefer Andrew or any percent?
I don't think it matters. Does it matter? I don't care. Get off my back.
Sorry.
Andrew percent it is.
Any percent.
That's weird.
Percent it isn't.
What are you doing here, Dante? I didn't realize that this was a place you decided to... And you brought others with you. Wait. No, I don't know either of them. They are okay, right?
Yeah. Hey, we're a pack now. Everything's cool. Despite
Apotheosis
what
looks back down at her laptop, but there's an ear out.
Okay. Despite what To the Moon might tell you, everything is totally fine and cool. No worries.
Yeah, because when I think of Dante and his groupies, I think totally cool.
To the Moon.
Call us as groupies one more time.
Yeah, that's really starting to get under my skin too.
Yay!
Oh.
Nope.
Did I not press it correctly? There we
More
go.
Rajay.
Arrangé.
Bye.
Trouble with touch screens, you know, you think you touched it and you didn't.
I'm sorry. You're talking to me as if you can talk to me on my turf. Like I should follow your rules. And you're also in here wanting to help about the fucking mountain.
I don't know how
the
things work
mountain?
down
Dante-
here.
No. We don't do the mountain. You know we
But
don't
it's
do the
pretty fucking insulting to call a couple of women someone's groupies when you first met them.
mountain. Women, men, children, I don't care. You're following him.
He's the one who knows this place. Of course we're going to let him make the introductions.
Right. So I'm calling it like I see it.
So am I.
I'm sorry, is there something that you and I have to fix here?
We're here because we give a fuck about the city, and the city happens to be physically attached to the mountain. If that's not a problem for you, that doesn't concern this cairn because you are physically detached from the city, then we will stop wasting your time and go home. Or at least I will, because I'm not a fucking groupie. Macris turns back towards the door.
This is the problem when you hang out with bone gnars.
I
And then
glance at the rest of the room.
any percent
It's like a whole bunch. Yeah.
There's a lot of bone gnars in the. What are you talking to the moon? You're making us all look bad.
Not to the moon.
I'm really sorry. She doesn't talk much. Jerks his thumb towards Apotheosis. And for a galliard. Weird, right?
I'm sure she has other ways of telling her stories.
Oh, she'll tell stories when it's necessary, but right now, you say that you have something about the mountain?
We intercepted a group who claimed to be lab workers, construction workers, but they were really just paid by a corporation called Climata to collect samples from the mountain, soil samples. They collected stones as well, but there was something here. They had these clipboards.
I'm wondering if anyone's ever encountered this kind of strange script before. It's got a vibe and we don't like it.
When we asked them what they were collecting, they just came out garbled. There's some kind of, I don't know, trick.
Okay, give me a second here. He sits back down at his computer. To the moon, rolls their eyes. They already Googled it. What, do you think they're stupid? They're dumb. They're not stupid.
Oh, thanks. That's a compliment, right?
Apotheosis closes her laptop. To the moon, we're gonna need more drinks. And you are the one who's going to have to go out and get them. I just got back. And
Macra steps clear of the doorway.
unzips the bag and lifts out a 2-liter bottle of ginger ale, and then just a whole shit ton of Crown Royal. Puts down.
Nice. This might be.
What would you want? And believe me, today it's on to the moon. Don't speak up all at once.
I may be.
I'm good. Go ahead.
No.
I'm sorry.
I could make an excellent drink with whatever you have.
But me, I think I'm gonna need something with a bit more juice. Maybe I don't know, a big old can of brand name energy drink. We'll talk sponsorships later.
Montreal.
Montreal.
Energy drinks, cider. Go to the moon, turns around and balls their fists for a second, and then goes, okay. It's starting to smell in here anyway. Turns around and leaves.
Like asshole, Macris whispers once they're out of earshot.
Careful. They are a half moon. You don't want to get on their bad side.
They started up.
You know, technically they didn't stop. And then Apotheosis just shoots another glance at any percent. He goes, yeah. And he goes back down into his laptop.
Do you mind if I stop preparing things at the bar?
I don't care. I just wanted them out of here. But if you're interested in making something, go right ahead.
She zips over there and then starts mixing some stuff.
I see there's still no love lost. Just generally in here, but also with Weathered Storm.
It's been a very long time since we've seen Dusk. Which means we haven't had a lot of contact with them. Dusk is a name, by the way, not like, we haven't been outside.
The spirit of dusk. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to have like flashcards of everybody's names.
Just like
So,
a
you know,
very
like-
short list.
Yeah.
Just names.
But then, yeah, we'll quiz each
Yeah.
other. It'll be great.
Who's this? Describe them in 5 words or less. Oh my god.
Kind of a pissant.
Mean, chip on shoulder. Okay.
That's what the wiki is for.
Yeah.
So, I'm not happy to just come crashing in, get to the moon all pissed off. Things seem to be
Moon
good here.
exists in a state of being.
It's true.
Hello.
Hello.
Despite what any percent says, I'm not entirely quiet. It's good to see you. Know that you've been here for what? 6 months?
6 months.
It's about time that you started to get around, meet some other people here.
Well, we've been occupied opening the bar. You're welcome anytime, by the way. First round's on me.
It's a good deal. I wouldn't pass that up.
You haven't.
Rude.
Sorry.
Are you starting to roll with people here, Dante?
Yeah. We're a pack now.
Huh.
Weathered Storm didn't fit for me, for any of us, and this place wasn't exactly the right fit for me before either.
Weathered Storm's pissed at us. We're pissed at them. It's the way it goes. But you have this, and looks down at any percent who's still looking things up.
We've recently acquired the patronage of Fox,
Fox.
and Fox has requested that we heal his mountain. The mountain, sorry, I don't think he said his.
Well, clearly because those on the mountain aren't doing enough of a job of it, are they?
Is that where this antagonism comes from?
They called for help.
You didn't answer.
Couldn't answer. There's a difference between want to, can.
Would you be comfortable explaining that?
You look around. We're a data center. We're interested in information, in trying to gather as much as we can to help Gaia. But we're removed. As much as we're connected everywhere, digitally, as much as we're trying to innovate here, we're not a powerful set. And we don't even have a single rune. How are we supposed to fight for a cairn when they won't even share the smallest bit of their own success with us? We have had to do whatever we could to build ourselves up, to highlight the fact that this is a sacred place, and not one of them has even come here to visit. Not one of them acknowledges the importance of our thinking engine. They have their heads stuck up their ass about the litany.
That's, yeah.
And what good has the litany done to protect them?
It's still... It, too, is a sacred place. I'm glad it wasn't lost.
I'm glad it wasn't lost either. There's no need for us to start... Sorry, you didn't come here for my own personal philosophies.
You kind of did. You came here for help, for resources, and just... I wanted to make sure that we were on at least somewhat the same page. We're not going to be go-betweens.
But we're also not interested in making enemies of cairns and sets. Yeah.
Exactly.
Our go-between hasn't been seen in a long time, like I said.
What?
You haven't...
She's a silent strider.
She may have... You don't know where she was last headed.
Last I heard, she was headed across the pond.
Macros looks at Troyan.
Where?
Spain, I think.
Ah.
But we didn't ask. She didn't say, and it's not like she's very comfortable carrying certain bits of technology. She would rather just rely on us for that. I miss her. But she was the only one who actually bothered visiting both cairns, at least until today.
Like I said, we have our own goals. We're not go-betweens, but I think this place is the future of this city. And I think you agree with me.
Got it! Any percent looks up. Clemata? It's an old name, but it's been repurposed. Repurchased. And as far as I can tell, it's being held by a couple of different shell companies. This looks like a classic sort of situation where somebody doesn't want to be seen, probably because they've done something else and come back to it. It looks like they might be going for another round. I think that Karen's under...
It's in danger. Again. They're probably the ones behind the attack a few years ago. It's what we suspected. It's closer and closer to being confirmed.
I can't say whether that's the case or not, but what I can tell you is that they are operating several warehouses in the East End. They claim that they're delivering environmental solutions. Right now, they're stocking up on a lot of solar panels and batteries, which are not that useful here. Solar panels are a useful source of energy. However, Quebec doesn't make a lot of use of solar panels for two reasons. One, we don't actually get that much sunlight.
Yeah.
Sad.
We tend to have things like snow. But two, we also have hydroelectric power, and while hydroelectricity is considered a threat to the environment when you're making the plant. Once it's been created, it's pretty clean on its own.
Mhm.
The damage is already done and does not continue.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that's necessarily weird in and of itself, but I think it warrants some more research. Maybe a little legwork. I think we can find some things out.
Do you know what this language is?
I have no idea.
Some kind of code or anything that you
They
recognize?
spoken it.
Apotheosis picks it up. Oh.
What?
Whoever's speaking this, they need to be observed. Someone is influencing them. This, and then drops the thing on there. This is less of a language and more of an edict. My guess, this is spiritual interference. This looks like worm speak. Which means that they understand it, but no one else will understand them.
Right.
They can't even rationalize what they're trying to do. Which means that they may be close to becoming Fomori. Fomori, Dante, you would know, is what happens when a Bane possesses a human.
Like I guess for a long enough period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Akros doesn't know really what it means except that it's terrible.
Oh yeah, they're not nice.
Mori equals
Bad word.
bad.
You didn't get that impression when you saw them originally, right?
Not these.
It's just the one word that they couldn't say.
And there might still be time.
They're just being hired out. There's someone there who's doing this work behind the scenes. There always is.
Just a mail clerk trying to pay some bills.
Who couldn't use a few extra bucks?
Troyan has been mixing drinks this whole time and passing them out to anyone who seems interested. If anyone wants a mocktail, she makes them one.
Ryan Ginger.
Yeah.
Because that's what was on the table. Yeah.
But if there was anything else she
I'll
found
take-
in
Oh, yeah,
cupboards,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
she would have
sure.
used it.
Creamer.
This is kind.
Well, we appreciate your help in this.
We're all on the same side.
Mori bad. No matter who they're hassling. Don't think we want more Fomori in the world.
I'm concerned because this isn't the sort of thing that normally gets... Wait a minute. Are one of you holding the iPad?
Someone would be.
Uh,
Yeah, I would have
probably
it. I would
Dante,
probably
yeah.
have it, yeah.
You had that too?
Yeah,
Can we see that?
of course. We trust you. And I pass it over.
Shit.
No.
This
What?
is ours.
Stolen?
Look. And she pops off the case on the back of it and around. And on the tablet, you can see, like, there's, you know, like the standard sort of engraving at the bottom of, like, oh, this is a thing. Or, like, it's a model. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the serial number. And then it shows that there's a glyph that has been etched into
Ooh.
a glitch that it's a representation of a rat with a spider's web on its back.
Nice.
So people who are threatening the sanctity of the mountain are holding some of your tech. Suddenly it seems like your two interests are more intertwined than you expected, wouldn't you say?
I want to know where they got this.
So do we.
If you can find that out for me. Let's just say that I'm going to do more for you than get to the moon off your back.
Pothio says I'd be an idiot not to ask. Is it possible that this was passed willingly by someone here at the cairn? I have to ask. I have to ask.
Jesus Christ!
Macros growls.
Woo!
80% gets up and he just marches right over. Look, I get it. You're trying to horn into my turf, questioner of ways. What the? And he pushes you on your chest.
Okay.
Not like.
No, but...
I
Not.
think he does protest too much. That's right. Macro says does, not doth.
Oh!
Troy
Ah.
like snorts, which is the closest she's come to laughing and his actions.
You're accusing a member of our sept?
I want to know what Apotheosis thinks, actually. Any percent?
I think any percent you need to sit down for a second and enjoy this lovely drink that's been prepared for you.
You can sit down, or you can lie down.
Strike him again, and I'm going to take off your knees.
Now that threat could have been aimed anyway, so I'm also not going to. I like my legs the way they are.
It would be an idiot to not examine this, to figure it out. It's way more likely that it's been stolen.
Would it be stolen from here, or do people bring them home?
They're definitely out there. We don't only keep these tablets here. I mean, they're portable for a reason.
It's true.
But I can't ignore the fact that someone might be guilty of this. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're in league with the worm. But I need to know why our tech is falling into their hands.
Could mean someone's home is compromised.
Maybe. I think I would have heard. The other thing is that we track this tech. We know where these are at all times. So then why didn't we get flagged that one of them went missing?
This wasn't the only tablet that we saw today. This was the
What?
only one we grabbed. Could you track the others?
She walks over, and then first thing that she does is she pulls it at her bow so that it loosens a bit, so that it exposes a bit of her neck. She takes one of the drinks, absolutely just drains it, puts it back
Does
down.
it seem like she enjoyed it?
It looks like she's too angry right now.
This is fair.
She certainly didn't stop drinking.
Roll for enjoyment.
Priorities.
Priorities.
What's their appearance? Did they enjoy my
Yeah,
drink?
exactly. What's your favorite drink is the new with the appearance.
Exactly.
There's only two of us in here right now. It's me and any percent. Everyone else is out. Any percent? Is this you? Jesus, no. What are you talking about? Okay. Then that means that I'm going to have to keep this quiet from everyone else. Which means I'm going to have to ask you to go out and look for me. Dante, this isn't an order. You're not one of us.
Like I said, this place... We didn't exactly gel right off the bat, and I get that. But I truly believe that this cairn is going to be the home of something big. If it isn't already.
Macros. I know that we have other Bonars here. So far, none of them have said anything about you that I would consider damning.
Stick to my own.
I'm asking this of you.
I was planning to check him out anyway. If I get bonus out of it, all the better.
Trying. Like I said, we're sept without an Arun. This could get ugly really fast. And I'm not sure whose side is going to look uglier. May I ask this of you as well?
I'm not afraid of things getting ugly. But if I come to your aid, I ask that you consider very carefully the next time Weathered Storm asks for help.
Look, we can talk about that.
Think about it.
The door bangs open again.
Oh.
To the Moon walks in, carrying one like 6-pack of energy drink and cider, plonks them on, and then sees the drinks are already made. When are you gonna do this to me, huh? What are you just sending me out? Besides, they made it very clear. They're here because they want stuff from us. We shouldn't be offering them the kind of hospitality. They've got goose stink all over them.
Dante winces and heads over and pops an energy drink out of the 6-pack and cracks it open and then takes a long swig. We're here, and then he burps really loudly in the direction of To the Moon. We're here to ask for help, to offer help. It's what warriors do for each other. Thanks.
Try that again. Just once. Once, Dante.
Dante, we got what we came for.
That's right. Tuck your tail between your legs and go home.
Don't do this. We could be friends. Or at least we could be working together. You don't have to make an enemy of me.
Get out.
Do you want those? I point the rest of the energy drinks.
They pick them up,
It's gonna be
Just-
good.
fling them at your chest.
Okay. I'll catch them.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's not the way to hand somebody a can.
No, for sure.
Get out.
Acris picks up the cider,
We're going. We're leaving.
heads, turns towards the door.
Apotheos says, I don't want to see them in here ever again. Then you can gouge your own eyes out. We'll see you soon.
See you soon, Apotheosis. Any percent? On that.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Hey, yeah, okay, bye.
Turns and leaves.
And yeah, Dante leaves as well. Thanks. Just generally to the room.
To the moon. See them out.
No, that's fair.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. It's funny, I wasn't aware that I had a sense of humor. See them out. The moon just lams their hands on the counter and then walks over and then opens the door.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the drink.
See you again soon. Bang.
Because of the air conditioning, it doesn't slam, it kind of goes.
Very good.
What a pathetic life.
Charming.
Absolutely pitiful.
I honestly don't get it.
Are we doing the old walk and talk?
Yeah, we're doing the walk. We're doing the
Yeah.
we're doing the walk and talk.
Alright, so I'm the guy with the camera running
Yeah.
as fast as I can.
Yeah. You're being led by a cable, exactly.
Dante's double fisting energy drinks.
Woo! Hope Goose likes it when I'm chopped up.
Every now and then there's a sound of like a can starting to crunch, and then Macros looks down and then relaxes her hand.
And then it
But,
kind of like reforms itself.
Incredible. Hey, thanks,
Thanks
Bramster.
for the soup. So,
Yeah.
I think I need to cool my jets before I try to sneak around anywhere.
Drinks.
Yeah.
don't we-
Otherwise, I'm gonna put my fist through the wrong face.
Why don't we take this back to Goose?
Oh, sure.
This information, we know what the target is, we know what the plan is, or at least we have a good idea of it. Something that we can bring, something that we can offer. Look, I'm not happy about it either, but at least we've got something.
Is that where you're headed?
I think we're going to attempt to
Acris
return to
cracks open
the...
the cider and starts.
For a trio who was so keen on not being the go-between between two hands, we've certainly visited both of them numerous times today.
Yeah.
We're the only ones willing to get shit done. Hopefully they'll both pay us handsomely.
In, like, wisdom, right? No, I don't think they're gonna pay us in money.
Pay us and not being dicks to us when we visit.
For each other. That would be good. Yes, that would be good.
Usually someone needs to spend at least 20 minutes with me before they decide they don't like me. What the hell?
By association. Don't flatter yourself.
What did you
They
do
hate
to
you.
them? Why do they hate you so much? Like, that would have taken a concerted effort. Like, an unending campaign
I
of
honestly
attempting to
don't
make
think
them
that's
hate
true.
you.
I don't think that's... Maybe I used to be less likable.
Charming?
Maybe I used to be a bit less charming.
And zoom it. Slow zoom it up, Mac.
Yeah, just behind this
Yeah.
weird ass banter, just
with
like
the can of cider.
so good.
Macros is just chewed through the side of the can and it's just
Oh yeah, like this tab like got ripped off for sure.
So you're headed back.
Yep.
That's correct.
Back to the other cairn.
We'll call ourselves the go
Back up the hill.
Yeah, when I said they, I did mean specifically to the moon, not the others. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird. One of the Escalades is sitting there now. By now, night is starting to fall. Just inside the trees, you can see that there's 3 of those same lab coat figures, but now there's a 4th who isn't wearing a lab coat. This one looks like they're wearing like a high-vis vest that has been smeared with dirt so as to no longer truly reflect a whole lot of dirt on it. And she's huge. Like, standing there, looks like she should be, competing in a wrestling match as opposed to standing in a forest somewhere. Clothes seem somewhat ill-fitting.
Guys, tell me why we shouldn't just fuck these people up right now. I think they'd get the message.
Are they still gathering samples, Sean?
It's not clear what they're doing.
I'd prefer to at least drag
They're
them.
on their hands and knees. Well, except for the big one.
Big one. Right?
I'd prefer to drag them into tree cover.
They are slightly within the
Okay.
trees.
How crowded is the mountain at present?
Not in this area. This isn't the tourist area of the mountain. It's not easy to get around through here. Like, you actually have to do some climbing, and you have to, like, there isn't a path here. So generally people don't spend a lot of time around here. If you're wondering whether you're going to be seen, that's another question. Have a look. I'm going to ask them for you to roll your resolve awareness for that.
Okay. Yes.
Just one of you.
Oh. Yeah.
Whatever.
I've got a
Th-
good
think you've
pool.
got a- I was gonna say-
Got your range.
Do that. Mine's not that bad.
3 successes.
You're well enough into the forest that it'd be unlikely that other people would see you. But if, like, you started firing your pistol, people might hear it. But that wouldn't necessarily... I mean, the thing is, pistol fire isn't something that's heard a whole lot in the city.
Yeah.
You would probably be okay as long as you didn't fire a whole ton.
Okay.
Let's try to separate the sheep from the wolves.
Okay.
Food is about 2 minutes away.
Oh, hooray.
So early.
Yeah.
What if we try to separate them by force? Try to spook them off.
Yeah. Sorry.
See
Yeah.
what we can do.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm itching for a fight.
John,
Yeah.
I would like to have Dante... Yeah, I would like to have Dante shift to Hispo and charge into this group of 4 people and try to basically grab and pull one of the small ones out, away, deeper into the forest.
Okay, well, first it's a rage check.
Yes,
So,
that's what I'm gonna
Go
do.
ahead.
Well, that's what I'd like to try to do. Yes, 9.
Well, so
Rage.
I should
sorry,
point out,
yes, right.
you will succeed.
Right.
It's just a matter of whether you lose rage or not.
Right, correct.
And if
Okay.
you don't, so
Okay.
you are now in Hispo. You can throw that up there. Great.
Sweet. This is sort of a dire wolf form, so it's like
Yeah.
you probably aren't going to be mistaken for you aren't going to be mistaken for a dog or even a wolf. This is a beast of some kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oven is warm, so whoever goes off and fetches the food can ship it in.
Thank
Great.
you.
Okay. So your plan is to charge in, grab one of these
Exactly.
lab coat folk,
And drag them further off into the woods. It's to sow chaos. That's the plan.
Okay.
But that's my idea.
What about you two?
Oh my goodness.
Wee.
Not ready to pop claws quite yet.
Pop
First.
claws.
Are any of them the same people that we apprehended this afternoon? Or is this another group of people?
It's the people who you did not apprehend.
The other car.
The other car.
I'm gonna head for the tree cover and switch to Hispo, actually.
Okay, rage check.
That is a 3, that is a fail. I go down by 1 rage.
Nice.
Nevertheless, transform.
That's
Hispo.
yeah. I don't know why I got in my head that you
Scott,
wanted
you
one.
said Glabro.
Oh, I did. Ah, okay, yes.
Oh, I thought you said
Hispo.
I meant Hispo for sure.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Because I think this will scare the shit out of some people.
Direwolf, yeah.
You wanted Hispo. You also wanted Hispo.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be Hispo too, just
go
to
be-
join.
Oh my
the
god,
team.
wolf! Oh.
Wolf fight. The 10.
So you
Nice.
maintain your rage. And what are you doing?
Hispo.
Okay, so you're hiding in the trees. You've dragged one of the mooks off.
I will be. Like, that's the plan. You have an action to declare.
So I kind of creep. I just like walk up to the group, hackles raised, and start a low growl. Eyes trained on the biggin.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do this. First off, the person who declared first was you. I'm going to have you roll. This is going to be a... Because you're literally just trying to grab somebody and scamper off them. So that's going to be a strength brawl.
Okay.
Difficulty here is just going to be 2.
Two dice bonus on physical checks. Hell yeah.
She just wants friends.
Not a brutal outcome. Thank goodness. 2 successes.
Okay. Dante successfully snares one of the lab coat people and starts to drag him further into the forest. The others look up and they panic.
Yeah.
This is not what they were anticipating, especially not getting attacked by a dire wolf. 2 of them start to flee, and one of them starts to like come after you, although there's caution involved, which leaves the sole large woman alone. You can go after the fleeing people. You can go after her. Your choices.
I'm not pursuing anyone at the moment.
Okay.
If I'm taking an action, it's to get into a good watching position and activate blissful ignorance, aka meld into the become ignored.
Okay.
Ridge check.
Yep.
That's a 6. I succeed.
Okay.
I would like to try to pounce on the woman and like pin her down with my paws,
Okay.
growling all the way.
She's just going to look, and as you pounce, she's just going to close a fist that looks a little too big for what itself, and just try to slam it directly into your chest.
Oh.
So we're going to roll. Don't forget that you have +2 dice to
Right.
physical actions.
So what would this be, would you say?
This is going to be a strength brawl.
Okay. So
That's my pool. Okay, that's my pool. And I add 2, and then I sub in 3 for my rage.
There you go. No, nailed it. That was good.
Promise each roll isn't gonna take 12 years. Ooh, hello.
That's 6.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
totally right. Yeah. Not yet, Flower. It's coming though.
6 successes
Yeah.
versus 6 successes.
Oh!
Then
Uh,
plus damage margin.
Which means, yeah. So what is the... You are just using your... You were attempting to knock her over.
Yeah.
So you're just using your claws at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. In Hispo...
Hmm.
Nope, this is listed on the sheet.
Yeah.
And my razor claws, I think, is only for.
Yeah, you'd have to have activated your
Yeah,
claws.
I didn't activate it.
Uh,
It's not free and instant.
okay, so then that's 1 damage.
Okay.
That you're going to do. Here, I also have no extra damage, so you're going to take 1 superficial because it's rounded up. Normally it would be rounded down.
It's
Or
okay.
no, sorry. Normally it would be halved.
Right.
Yeah.
It's rounded
Half
up.
round up.
Right.
So you'll take the 1.
Got it?
Just slammed, and so the 2 of you knock each other back, and she takes 2 steps back and braces herself against one of the trees as you fall down. She's incredibly strong, easily as strong as you are in this form.
That's scary.
That is the first time you've been injured in this round. Rage.
As in I
Or
gain
not
range.
this round,
Or...
this combat. Gain 1 rage.
Gotcha. Thank you. Rawr.
So, you scared them away. You tried to attack.
Yeah.
I went.
I basically
"Hey,
pounced and we
great."
went boing.
Round.
The guy that I've dragged off into the woods, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fling him up against a tree, and try to. I'm going to try to tear his coat off him.
Okay, that's going to be Dex Brawl.
Okay.
Difficulty there is still going to be 2. One of the scientists is going to pick up a large stick and try to club you with it to try to get you off
Hey,
his friend.
Sarah.
So we'll deal with that in a second. First is your attack.
Dex
here.
roll. Okay. Yeah. Hey. 4, 5 successes.
Okay, you successfully managed to rip the lab coat off this person. That person, now thoroughly terrified, but also dazed up against the tree.
Okay.
The person who's coming at you with a stick, roll your Dex Brawl. This one's going to be, Dex Athletics.
Okay.
This person does not have that much of a pool. Okay.
Still no brutal outcome, which we're very happy about. That's 6 successes.
Okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You managed to easily dodge out of the way of this flailing branch at you.
Yeah.
Back to you 2.
Marcus is still hidden?
Yeah. Am I close enough to launch out at anyone?
You'll be able to attack this person.
Yeah, I want to attack the begin that's fighting. Yep, great. Then I'd like to do that.
Okay. With your claws, your bite.
With my bite.
Okay. That'll be aggravated damage if you
Yep.
succeed. So by all means, go ahead. This is going to be a strength brawl. This person is going to reach into her pocket. She's pulling out what looks to be it's not a Glock. We'll call it a revolver.
This counts as a physical test.
Yes. So we'll be
So as I'm coming out of this, the revolver I assume is for Troya, because it's witness awareness against my composure stealth.
yeah, it's for
Yeah.
trying.
Okay.
I'm just saying that you
Great.
see that this is what
Yeah,
she's
great.
doing.
Awesome. Then I will aim for that hand.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
That's my athletics. Shit. How many successes?
4.
That's 1
Marginal.
marginal, so that's 1 + 1 aggravated damage.
Great.
Great. You manage to close your jaws around her arm, and she bellows, whipping you around enough to like smack you against the tree. It doesn't hurt you, but it'll be enough to dislodge you. And then she takes aim at Troyan with the gun.
I want to run for her leg and like clamp my jaws down and try to rip out a chunk
Another
of her
bite?
leg. Yeah.
Okay,
Big
so
ol'
this
bite.
is going to be my my gun versus your bite.
And would my bite be strength again, or is that dex?
That's going to be strength still.
Okay. I guess same pool for me anyway. Okay.
Remember your +2?
And is she
rage.
experiencing any
Area?
no when you're attacked by the same by multiple people in a round, do you get a penalty for that?
Yeah. So multiple opponents defending -1 die per opponent cumulative. So after
Oh,
the
she's not
first-
defending though, she's attacking, so it doesn't.
So if you're doing
I'd reduce my die by 1 for
Yeah.
your attack.
yeah,
Because
but-
we're engaged directly.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
If you're attacking multiple targets, which she wasn't, she was just drawing the gun to try
Right.
to shoot
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Ready?
That is
Gotcha. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You'll be able to hear quite a large blast in the area.
It's terrifying.
That is 4 for me.
4 for you and 4 for me. So we'll tie again,
'Kay.
which means that you're going to be doing 2 aggravated because your bite is +1
Mm-hmm.
plus the 1 marginal. But I am going to be doing this is still superficial for you, but it's going to be 4, so 2
Two soup?
superficial. There you go.
Yep.
Uh, but now she's taken 4, right?
Yeah.
4 aggravated damage,
Yeah.
and
It's horrible.
just like
Oh my god.
I'll break you in half. Round 3.
I'm going to the person who attacked me with the branch, not the one against the tree, the
Okay.
one who attacked me with the branch. I'm going to leap and try to tear out their throat. So I'm going to use I'm going to use my bite.
Okay. While you're rolling that,
Another attack. Again, aiming for the arm again. The arm again, trying to get more flesh out of it to really get them to get her to drop it.
same for you.
Yeah, I am trying to sever a limb now.
Okay. Don't forget, you are in a supernatural form, so you can make checks to regenerate your health each turn.
This is true. And
Yeah.
can I do that in addition to acting, or is that in lieu of my acting?
It is not in lieu. It is just a rage check to heal 1 superficial damage.
Yeah.
It's just free. It's kind
Yeah.
of
Like you're risking losing rage, but you've got.
But I've
enough.
got tons.
Yeah.
Should I do that now?
Sure.
One.
Also, I think it's that you can only make 1 rage check a turn. So if
Yeah.
you try to use a gift, that
Right, that's
you'll
fair.
be able to regen.
Okay, so
So
I
you're not
lose.
doing that. So
I lose 1 rage, but I heal 1.
that's right. 1 superficial.
Yeah. Whoop.
Okay.
Hooray!
I'm just re-rolling a couple of dice, so
Yep.
I'm taking a superficial willpower damage to do that.
Okay.
Nice.
Stance.
Do you want us all rolling at the same time?
First, I'm rolling against you, Troyan.
Okay.
Then I will roll against you, but at -1. Okay. Well, that's not as good as it was.
It's 3 for me.
2 for me. So you'll succeed in that attack. That's 2 damage.
Yeah.
I drop 1. And then, oh, yeah, no. Okay.
Two. Just 2.
Okay. I rolled 2. So, therefore, we tied. You get a margin, but because I'm dodging,
Yeah.
it dodges you.
Yeah.
It's not like 1 and 1. Okay.
Ooh,
Scott?
Yes. 4 successes on the.
Well,
That
that,
attack.
that beats my 2. You dead,
Yeah.
throated.
Yep. And with that, with that sort of blood and so
Yep.
on, I'm turning to look at the person who's up against the tree.
That person is kind of shaking their head, takes one look at you, and are you trying to intimidate them, or are you trying to get them, are you trying to get them to run away? Are you trying to get them to cower for you? What's your goal?
To cower. For
Okay.
now.
I'm going to have you roll here your composure intimidation, but I'm going to give you an extra 2 dice because you just killed this person in front of them.
Brutal. Okay. I'm so nervous about this. Anyway, yeah. 4 successes.
Right. He just goes down and starts pleading in like absolute gibberish tones of like, please, I've got everything. It's not okay. That's 3 rounds. You two have been doing a pretty damn good job of taking care of this, so I'm going to offer that if you are, I'm going to say that you managed to take her down, but you've been doing aggravated damage, you are probably going to kill her.
I am down to stop doing aggravated damage in the interest of maybe questioning her.
So here's the offer that I'm going to give you. Either end the combat now and that you kill her, or we'll do one more roll if you're interested in doing stuff that isn't ag to see if you can talk to her afterwards.
Okay. Do you want to try that, kid, or do you just want to kill her? I think Troyan would legitimately be fine either way.
Macros is definitely in kill mode, but if you said wait or something.
No, Troyan's gonna kill her. Like, she's...
Okay.
Brutal.
I think that's part of why they get along. Sometimes they
Standing just outside the bawn of the Cairn of the Weathered Storm with one very frightened scientist, one dead scientist, one quite large brute who seems to no longer be capable of moving, but 2 who got away.
Shit.
And I think we'll end the session there.
Ah.
Hell yeah. Heck yeah. Woo!
Ooh.
Another 2 get away.
Woo!
Have we appeased your bloodlust, Kung Fu Fenris?
That was a spicy fish.
Ooh. My goodness.
That was a lot of blood. I briefly stopped paying, like, I was planning my next move, and when I clocked back in, you were like, I'd like to throat him, then go after the next one.
You were like,
just so like,
Ruh-roh.
Well, there's certain things that come a bit easier, like killing just normal humans.
Yep, that is...
Not that hard.
Nope, not so difficult.
amazing.
Feels good.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't die!
You didn't die.
Yay!
You want to earn your 4 experience?
Yeah.
Do I ever?
You're just going to have to tell me, Kate, what'd you learn this session?
Good. I learned more about the disconnect between the 2 big cairns, the 2 major cairns that we've interacted with so far.
Okay. Elizabeth?
I learned that there is some dastardly trouble afoot in the mountain. Climata's at the head of it all.
Okay.
I've learned that I've got that Dante has a more nuanced history with that Cairn
Moon.
thing. Yeah, with To the Moon and with Downstream that I thought.
Kate. Do you want to call it someone else's play?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to control F just so that I can update my sheet. My reference sheet, yeah.
Good idea.
I want to call out Ms. Astroyan for diplomacy through drinks.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, in the
Whether
downstream.
no, downstream.
Yeah. Finding a way, despite the animosity that we were met with, to smooth it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hopping on to diplomacy, Dante, like Scott, I think you walked a really interesting line of like clearly being pissed off by the way that people at Downstream, at least some of them, were treating you, but also like you were a little sheepish at times.
Sure.
Which really gave this feeling of shared history that we don't know and are desperate to find out about.
Yeah, me too. That's the best kind of mystery, you know what I mean? Like the one that we all want to know more about.
Yeah.
What do you think of Downstream? And I want to call out Kate as Macris for, ironically enough, kind of the opposite of diplomacy. Just like I think it's important that important. We all were representing different elements of what Guru Rage in a somewhat less formal but social setting is. And stepping up to someone who's trying to get your goat is 100% part of that. I thought it was awesome. And it wasn't a case of like, I stepped up, but then I backed down. It was just like, it was nice. It was nuanced and awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Bardic Lydia. I'm an actor. Which is great.
John, you played 1 million NPCs today. You just keep introducing us to new NPCs, and each one is so like well developed and varied, and they're like very alive, and it's just really fucking impressive.
They all have names, which is like good for me.
Yeah, you help yourself out in advance by generating some names.
This is it.
Now,
What's their name? Oh, fuck.
Ah, shit.
Bob. Wait, we already met a Bob. Shit.
I like to think John actually got a tattoo
Bobo.
on his inner forearm of like all of the.
Guys, this is
All of
gonna be the game. I'm feeling it.
He honestly has the wiki open.
Oh.
I
course.
would.
Find that option.
I'm gonna tattoo the whole wiki on your back.
I don't have the
I don't know how you would.
I don't have the wiki open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boop, beep, beep.
I famously beat Boop.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I do. Hey, that's what I do. Incredible. That was very fun.
Thank you.
So you saw some combat.
Ah.
Did some
Feels good.
Did some quick things. That was the
Very
3
good.
rounds and out, which
Yeah.
admittedly came over just over time. I mean, if anybody
Minute here or there.
Yeah.
I was curious if big strong woman person was like what were they fancy enough that we would need to demand more combat beyond 3 rounds? Like I just don't know. It's interesting.
There were some times where I made some rolls and I was like, oh, well, I hope you rolled well because
Yeah.
this could be hurt.
I think
Yeah.
if it had just been the two of us, that would have been a serious problem.
Yeah.
But the fact that there were us both, that worked great.
So I'll remind you, you can still spend superficial willpower to re-roll 3 of your dice.
Right.
So if you wanted more successes, but you were already rolling pretty well.
I was rolling pretty well, but I do have to remember that, and I don't know how. Maybe I'll post it.
Yeah.
Liz, willpower.
It's the willpower instead of a success.
Yeah.
Get a reroll.
Tattoo willpower right here.
Yeah.
We'll just all get.
I'm gonna get rage on
On
one
my
and willpower on the
finger.
other. That's funny. Then you can.
Willpower.
I mean, super sweet.
The poll, what do you think of Downstream? The 3 options I should point out are romanceable NPCs, they're jerks, or Weathered Storm is better than Downstream.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
Fighting words.
Can't wait to see what
Damn,
people say.
Aragwen, those are hardly some moot points. That's good. It's just good. Yeah. Look, I'm trying. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about drinks, too. Like,
Yeah.
what name it?
That's okay. We don't have to decide out loud live in front of everyone and be stuck with it.
Ah.
I don't want Climata Errata.
Beautiful. Unbelievable. That's very funny.
Beautiful.
I mean, woo. It's a wild sash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
I have said that like 3 or 4 times today, haven't I? Huh.
The
I got it, Bardic.
advertising is real.
Yeah.
Are folks doing anything this week? Anything cool? Anything interesting?
Oh yeah, as we wait for some more polls to
Yeah, what's
roll
happening on
in.
Tuesday?
Oh my god. So, speaking of unpopular opinions, I've been at Tornado Macaw has been asking people about their unpopular opinions, amongst other things, in order to see who's going to win $1 million on his game show, Truth. We're gonna see. Weirdly enough, the game just came out and they don't even have. It doesn't have a menu, so I don't know if it's saved. Like it's such a weird. Anyway, whatever. Join me at 6 p.m. on Tuesday evening. I stream in character. And we're going to see about finishing up Truth and seeing who was telling the truth the whole time. Oh, Aragwen. I'll allow it.
I'm hoping to do a stream this week.
Harvey.
I'm gonna make sure that I've played a couple more sessions before I'm going to do the my official review of Werewolf Edition. But there's a bunch of games that I gotta take a look at. So I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of that at some point this week, because this week is a lot better than last week. I'll tell you that when it comes to my being able to do this.
That is good.
So keep an eye out on the Discord. That'll either be Wednesday or Thursday.
Friday, there should be punchy. I have an
Yay!
audition, but traffic would have to be really bad to not get back in time.
Rip us.
So that's happening, and then Saturday, more Drew Crew. And
Are we finishing
no,
the book? Damn it.
No.
Okay, sorry. I just want to know what the secret of the Ringmaster is. That's Drew Crew
This
at
book
3
is
o'clock on
insane.
Saturday. I also stream at 5 o'clock on Saturdays. Stay tuned to the Discord. Doomed, the Arkham Horror LCG story-based mode, may be returning very soon, so keep an eye peeled on the Discord for that. Tekalili and all that.
Next Sunday we'll be back here, same time, same channel, 2 p.m. Eastern, for episode 3.
Zablica, you're asking how NPC rage is handled. The book has a couple of different suggestions. One of them is just that you assume that NPCs can spend 1 rage per turn. Or do 1 rage-related action per turn. Remember that an NPC in a 3 rounds and out sort of situation, right? Like, they essentially have the ability to do 3 things. So there's that to kind of hold on to. The other thing is not all creatures use rage.
True.
So...
That's sorry, I'm just realizing now, that's a really, I had 3 rounds and out is a great system to be like, combat, is it still interesting? Keep going,
Yeah.
Whatever. But like, the notion of you have 3 actions is a very different way of looking at it. I just think, like, at some point we'll discuss this in more detail. I think it's fabulous, yeah.
Outside of combat, it's not tracked, Zablica, in that oftentimes it's not useful to track it. I can generally vibe off what's happened in a scene. Like, so for instance, if we were dealing with, like, To the Moon, and we wanted to know what was To the Moon's rage at that point, depending on when it would matter would be when I would determine what their rage would be at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, so far, this sort of like intuitive, where does it make sense for your rage to be? So far, knock on wood, that's working really well.
Yeah, it
It's
makes
like
sense.
we both just go, right there.
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed. Yeah,
fucking
like, okay, that's
pissed, and
annoying,
then and then we do our rage checks and drop down like,
Yep.
yeah.
Excuse me.
I feel like rage in the middle of combat is going to be a bit less volatile, in that I don't mind if you want to have your rage go up in the middle of normal play. Like, that makes sense to me. In combat, where rage can be a definite advantage, there's only certain situations in which I'm going to be like, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, the first time you're injured, gain
Yeah.
rage. Yeah, that makes sense. But past that, it's sort of like you're already exercising your rage. in
Yeah.
combat, right? You wouldn't necessarily be constantly going up.
And it's almost cathartic
Yeah.
as well, like raging in conflict.
You can't just
Combat.
jam a stim pack like in StarCraft or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Weird pull, but okay.
But it's still way faster to gain than, say, like, glamour and shit.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
willpower or any of it. So, like, as much as it's like, oh no, I can't gain it in the middle of fighting. Yeah, but I can gain it so easily outside of
It's
fighting.
gonna
Yeah.
fluctuate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, fabulous. Ooh,
All right,
Yeah.
folks. Well,
big arts.
if you have any ideas on what you think the drink for session 3 should be, it needs a name and it needs an ingredients list, and you can post that in our Discord. The offer for deed names still stands for people who want to check that out. You have to find the thread, but if you find the thread and ask for it, you can get a deed name from a character who is in this game who they have not met yet.
Ooh.
But we will.
Is it Deeds Nuts?
Oh my god.
Boo!
Now.
Everyone.
Deeds nuts.
But yeah, Erwin, do we have a result
You want deeds?
Yeah.
for
Deeds nuts.
the poll?
Yay.
Aragorn's desperately trying to fix the poll so that it comes out with one specific
No, the
option.
NPC who gave
They're romantic.
Who gave the names?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I knew it.
Half the respondents to the
Yes.
poll state that Downstream is romanceable NPCs, and then it's tied between their jerks or Weathered Storm.
Aragwen's gonna have thoughts, I'm sure. Which, you know, all y'all should have thoughts about ships and things. Get on the
Aragorn's
Discord.
already writing theories.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I mean, look. In the meantime, we got dinner to get.
Oh yeah.
So we are gonna head out, but we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.